Liquid, overdrive, sequencer, port, tangerine. You have been activated. Okay. Okay, before we start, I'm just going to say I'm sorry. My appearance may be grotesque and just frankly hard to look at. But I think we're going to get through it. Okay? So, there you go. I apologize that I'm so hard to look at this week. But well, I have a story. So first, hi, welcome. Good to see you. I'm Rob. This is Order 42. We're starting the show. So as you know, or may not know, last year, because of my compromised immune system, I got shingles, and I had it in my eye. So it was kind of like, it was this part of my face. And you can actually see kind of the scar right here. And basically it was rough. It was rough. And I had to have eye drops and all that kind of stuff. So as soon as I was able, I took the shingle shot. Well, on Friday, I took the second shingle shot. And it hurt. Right here. It's still tender. But basically what it did to me this time, that I don't remember it doing the last time, is I basically had flu-like symptoms all weekend, which sucked. pretty bad. So I didn't leave the house. I just basically sat around, watched a bunch of movies, which we'll get to. But yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Okay. So yesterday, I'm helping my wife. She's got this thing. We're moving stuff. And she's got this thing, and it's one of those lap desk type things. And what it does is it's supposed to have levels, height levels. And it's spring loaded. Well, for some reason we couldn't get it to snap down. And so I'm leaned over it, and snaps down, and then it comes back up, snaps down, and then comes back up. And I'm looking, and I'm trying to figure out where the mechanism is. And I hit this button, and the thing hits my face, and it hit me right here. It hurt. I got that flash of light, and I thought, oh crap, I'm missing a tooth or something. Like it hurt. And I mean, of course, started bleeding, that whole thing. So yeah, I've got this to deal with for the next however long. Split my lip. pretty bad. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. But I mean, and what's weird is like I immediately got like lightheaded because the thought of like, oh God, I didn't want to, I didn't want to push on my teeth or anything like that, and I was bleeding. You know, my wife's there. She's like, oh my God, you know, it was scary for a minute, but then I'm fine. It just sucks, and it's there. So there you go. There's my story. So number one, the shingles virus sucks. I got that. And the shingle shots are not too much fun either. And then, you know, if there's something that's spring loaded, maybe don't put your face next to it when you're messing with it. I swear, every time I get hurt, it's something stupid. It's not like it's never anything cool. Like I got to come on here and say, yeah, you know, I was coming out of a store and I saw this elderly woman, you know, being harassed by this guy and he's trying to take her purse and I come up and I get the purse back, but he hits me in the mouth and, you know, well, at least I saved the day, you know? No, it's nothing cool. It's nothing awesome. It's basically me being stupid. So anyway, so yeah, let's get caught up with the chat before we get too far into it. Oh, by the way, yes, there is a poll. And wow. Apparently Ricky's post over on Discord has swayed the votes, or you guys just really like blueberry, because that's what we got. First up, we got Erie Solution blueberry filled donut. That is leading the way right now at 86%. Then we have Terrified Resolution, which is a dark vanilla custard. I mean, it sounds good to me. And then the last one is a peanut butter and strawberry with cream, just called Bones. So there you go. That's what's up. That's what's up for the vote. So you guys, you know, keep on voting or whatever. But first up, we had Bonobo Juice, and for some reason, YouTube doesn't let you see. If you've got a poll running, you can't see the first post. You just can't see it. So I have to like do this thing where I'm scrolling and then I have to like fling it. So I can only like read. So Liquid Overdrive, Sequencer, Port, Tangerine, you have been activated. But Bonobo Juice was first, and I don't understand what he's talking about. But thank you. It's good to see a familiar face, a different face as number one. Then we have Rufus second. Hello, friends. And then Justin, I'm not first this week. Insert crime monkey here. So, hey. And yeah, I do have a news item. Is Rufus still here? Rufus, you're still here. Good. Good. Then let me just show this to you now. Because this is one of those things that I think again, it's one of those things where, you know, I thought of a couple of different people, of course, but you were definitely one where I'm like, I think he might be into this. So this is an interesting item. It's a new item. But let's go back for a second. Physical media is really hot right now. You know, it's a thing. People are digging back into vinyl. They're digging back into VHS. You know what I mean? It's like physical media is just one of those things that people just really seem to be gravitating toward. And there's a company out there that's saying, here's a product for the new generation, but it's a retro product. And it's a product that is very interesting. And I'm not sure how it's going to go over, but hey, it's coming out. It's coming out. You ready? You ready? Here it is. Maxell is bringing back a classic with their brand new cassette player. Apparently it's a rechargeable battery, USB-C, and it's got Bluetooth. So if you've got Bluetooth headphones, you can use this thing. But there you go. A freaking cassette player that's coming out in 2026. So here's the thing. I think with all this talk about, oh, physical media is, dying, movies on, disc and things, it's going to go by the wayside. I think there will always be some company out there that is going to try to capitalize on this, on our love for physical media, and this to me is the proof. So it's apparently like going to be $69, which is super cheap. In my opinion, that is cheap for basically a USB-C cassette player of all things. So there you go, Rufus. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, I thought you'd be. I thought you liked that. So there you go. I wonder how many compulsive folks. Oh, you're talking about the number order of the Criterion movies that I put on there? Well, here's the thing. They are in order. They're in order of how I watched them. So, in a way, it is in order. So there you go. Now, this was funny when this post came up from Rufus. He said, I just melted some mild cheddar and string mozzarella onto some corn tortilla blanco pollo taquitos, and it was bomb AF, yo. Tex-Mex made fat. So, you know how like when you quickly read something, your brain just goes, wait, what? I thought he said, I just mailed some mild cheddar. That's what I read. That Rufus mailed some mild cheddar. I didn't freaking get water. We're going to have to take a break here in a bit so I can get water because this tea is not going to last long. By the way, this is really, it's weird. It stopped hurting almost immediately. It does not hurt. But it's annoying, It's just like, I'm constantly like, messing with it. So it's kind of annoying. But there you go. Just had tacos. I'm never not in the mood for traditional or Tex-Mex. I do prefer Tex-Mex because I didn't grow up on it. And then Ninjinzu said, oh, by the way, hi, Ninjinzu. Did I say hi? I don't think I did. Hi. My guy bailed out. Or balled out. I'm not sure I know what that means. I'm going to leave that to the imagination. Anyway, Tex-Mex is so acidic for my stomach. Like Chewy's flavors are good, but man, it's strong. It's mean food. Deliberately mean food. I remember when the grilled stuffed burrito was still a thing. I could eat one in a sitting multiple times a day. That Baja sauce was off the charts. Hey, Taco Bell, yeah. I'll just say, look, man, I can definitely get down on Taco Bell, but when I'm thinking about like, oh, it's time to get down on some really good Mexican food, Tex-Mex type stuff, I'm telling you, the place down the street, little hole in the wall, street tacos, man. Al Pastor, they're banging. They're just so good. And they make a burrito that's literally the size of my forearm. Like, seriously, it's like this big. It's huge. And it's just, you're like, yeah. And it's cheap and awesome. So, just saying. I just ate a non-fat protein yogurt because I'm a fat boy. Oh, and hey, yeah. A round of applause for anybody that had anything to do with this. Because, yeah, it's yeah. Amaze. Yeah. Congratulations, number one movie of the week, of course. I mean, I don't think anybody had any doubt about that. But man, people just love it. I'm sure that it's going to be any minute now. The hate train's going to start. because you can't have something that's this good and this well praised that some people are going to go, I don't like it because it's too, there's no curse words in it. It's too positive. It's awesome. I don't know what to tell you. I went and saw it again Thursday night. Awesome. Just awesome. And I actually saw it at the XD screen at Cinemark. It's got the same changing formats as like a true IMAX screening, which I did not go to. I went to the Dolby Cinema, even though this says IMAX at AMC. This has an IMAX. It does have an IMAX screen there, but yeah, it's. I went to the Dolby Cinema because I prefer Dolby Cinema. I don't like to me, the biggest issue with all of the IMAX screens that are anywhere close to me, the seats aren't as comfortable. Like they're literally like the old seating. And because they have to pack so many people in there, they don't recline. So the seats are not as comfortable and they don't recline. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I prefer go to Dolby Cinema. The screen's just as vibrant and just as awesome to watch, and the sound is awesome. So that's me. But anyway, kudos to Ryan Gosling. Dude, Ryan Gosling's one of those guys where he's been around for a long, long time. And he's done some incredible work over the years. The Nice Guys, Blade Runner 2049, Fall Guy. If you didn't see Fall Guy last year, it's really fun. And he's so good. He's such a good actor. And he's funny, he's personable, he's got all the things. You know, he's literally a movie star, and this is his biggest movie he's ever done. And he carries the movie. It's just so well done. It's so well done, and I'm so proud of him. And the hate train's coming because people can't stand success. They can't. If you're too successful, nope, we're gonna try to beat you down. We're gonna try to beat you down somehow. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. Anyway, that might sound super negative, but I know it's coming because I've already seen some of it. Some video is gonna go viral, and it's gonna be like, 5 reasons why Project Hail Mary is not the best movie of the year. I don't know. Conscious eating is pretty rad. I don't know about that. I mean, it is. Look, food is fuel. It took me almost 40 years to understand that. Yeah, you can have things that are good, but you don't need it to where you're like, oh, I need to be in pain. So you can actually just stop eating at a certain point and then realize you don't need it anymore. Took me 40 years to understand that because I was overweight for a long time. So there you go. It's a thing. Rob, thoughts on the film Garden State? Well, Justin, let me tell you. And hey, KP Senti, how you doing? Garden State. That is with Natalie Portman and I can't remember the guy's name from Scrubs. I'm sure somebody's yelling it right now. Who's yelling it? Who's yelling it? Hi, Star Fox. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. SMPK329. Good to see you. So nice to see you live. My YouTube recommendations have been sucking. Well, I mean, show's not over yet. Show might suck. No, I think we got a good show tonight. I think we have a fun show tonight. Especially kind of I get to talk about movies, man. What's the name? I can't remember the guy's name. Okay, I'm gonna just look it up real fast because nobody's saying it. Garden. It's the Scrubs dude. Okay, where's the dude's name? Zach Braff. Jeez. Yeah, okay. I remember liking it, and I remember thinking, because I can't remember exactly when it came out. I just had it up. I could have told you that. That's not what I meant to do at all. At all. History, last closed window. To do. Not what I meant to do. Garden State, 2004. Okay, so think about this. I think every group of kids, they have their movie, right? They have that movie that they talk about, they gravitate toward. It's the movie that it's a thing, and they kind of like, this is our movie. This is a movie made for us, right? Um, in 2004, I was already 28, and I probably didn't see it till I was 29 or 30. I was already past that point. So I kind of feel like it wasn't made for me. I remember watching it and liking it, but it's not for me. The movie made for me is like Empire Records, Clerks, you know what I mean? Like, and I think it's the same with music, you know? Like, I grew up on Pearl Jam, Nirvana, and Nine Inch Nails. So yeah, guess who, like, my three, I don't know about my three favorite bands now, but I still like Pearl Jam, I still like Nirvana, and I still like Nine Inch Nails. And it's one of those things where I think that period in your life is when you make, it's almost like you solidify yourself in the kind of music you like, in the kind of movies you like, and all that kind of stuff. So while Garden State is a good movie, it's not for me. It's for you, because I'm old. I'm old. I graduated in 94, so I'm old. Oh, by the way, we will be doing a stream next week. That'll be the day after my birthday, but we will have to cut off. We'll either have to cut off the hangout early, or we'll have to just not do a hangout, because at midnight I'm going to see the new Mario Brothers movie with the wife. So just hey, hey. As long as we're all aware of that, there you go. So there you go. You look the same. He's wearing a dress. No. I heard those hurt. Always wanted one of those. Yeah, I cannot believe. Just don't put your face next to something that can shoot. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know that it was going to do that. And as soon as it happened, my wife just freaked out. I mean, not freaked out. She was very concerned. She was worried that, she was like, oh my God, I hope you didn't, knock out a tooth. Oh my God, how bad is it? He's going to need stitches. I was thinking the same thing. And all of those things were going through my head. And that's why I got lightheaded. It wasn't like it almost knocked me out. It didn't hit me that hard, but it hit hard enough to where it basically cut my lip on my tooth, and it sucked. So there you go. I've got a big screen, hardly noticed, looks worse to you than us, promise. Hope it heals fast. I mean, I know it probably doesn't look that bad, but it's one of those things where I was really like, I know that this is a stupid thing to think, but I was thinking, I'm going to have to cancel the stream tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to be able to, if I have like this big freaking, like this big thing all over, I'm not going to be able to talk. You know what I mean? So, and I look, hyperbole is part of the show. It's a thing that I hate. You know what I mean? In general, but I do it for laughs. So yeah, of course I'm going to play it up. But anyway, playing a ranked game, but I'm listening. Ninjinzu, I hope you're doing okay. And I hope you're doing well in your ranked game. And I'm just going to look, I'm going to admit something to you. This is going to be one of those things that some people are going to go, yeah, what's the big deal? Cool. Then there's going to be some people that are like, oh no. And really, for me, it's almost like I'm almost embarrassed to say it. But I bought and have started playing Pokemon Pokopia. Pokopia? Guessing it? Pokopia? Pokopia? I don't know how you say it. It's basically like a little bit of Pokemon, but it's almost like more like Animal Crossing and a little bit of Minecraft. It's just relaxing. I started playing thinking, I don't know, but this looks like it could be something that I like. I am just enjoying it. Oh, I gotta subscribe.
Holy crap, what happened to Earthface? Get in a fight?
Oh, see, there's Ricky. Ricky with the why? Okay, what is going on with my? That was so weird. That was so odd. What is going on here? Okay, I'm gonna turn off my mouse and turn it back on. Because that was really weird. So I was clicking down here and it was highlighting something up here. So it was almost like it was off. Very weird. It's the Scrubs dude. Oh, look at there. I didn't even see Ricky. Oh my God, I'm not logged in. Maybe that's why. Just come on. Freaking Streamlabs. Did you really do two? You did two. You did two of them. But I'm hearting both of them. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate it. And yeah, I know. My face is completely jacked. I know. I mean, I'm hard to look at on the best days. But there you go. That's what happens. That's what happens. That's my purse. I don't know. No, I wasn't gonna look, I wasn't gonna tell a story where like I'm trying to steal some old lady's purse. No. 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 And there's Bucho. Welcome, Bucho. Good to see you. The companies making them now suck. I mean, look, I think that's a pretty cool thing. You know, a freaking cassette player this day and age, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not going to buy one because that audio quality is not great. Look, I'm just saying the truth. It's not great. Is it? Is it great? No. Nobody buys cassettes because, oh man, I want really good audio quality. No. You want that experience, which I'm completely cool with. But don't sit there and try to tell me that I should be buying cassettes. You want to buy cassettes? Go for it. Go for it. This is the same reason why we're in trouble, you know, socially, politically, all of those things. Is because you think everybody should do exactly what you do. No. You can tell somebody about it. You can show your passion for it. But expecting other people to do it? No. You can't do that. You can't do that. Let people do the thing. If you have passion for it, man, show off that passion. Be passionate. I love that. But when you start, you know, making demands, who am I talking to? I don't even know. I mean, look, I just try to do a stream where, hey, if you like something, hey, show off your love for it. That's what Order 42 is all about. I mean, pretty much. That's what it's all about. I'm just not talking first ever again on purpose. I'm out of here, Ricky. Don't you start it, okay? If you were first, man, you were first, and that's the way it is. And if you want to be first every single week because you're the guy that's just crazy enough to say, I'm waiting for that notification to pop up, and I'm going to jump over there and go, blah, 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 blah. Hey, if you want to do that, hey, go for it. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying. It's nice to have some variety. I mean, do you want, seriously, you think of your favorite burger. Do you want that burger every meal? All I know is I love Shake Shack. And recently, I've been really digging the, I've told you this before, the junior version of the sweet and spicy burger at Whataburger, because I can eat it with the I guess small or medium fries, whatever size fries it comes with, right? I can eat all that and be content, and I don't feel like crap afterward, right? So I've been like really digging that. Do I want that burger every day? No. Every now and then, it's nice to have something different. It's nice to have, you know, maybe say a double cheeseburger from McDonald's. Ew, McDonald's is so bleh. Okay, hey, you don't like it? More for me. Because you know what? Every now and then, yeah, I like to have it every now and then. There you go. That's the thing. I don't even know what am I talking about? Bye. No, don't leave. You can't leave. I actually have something that you might be interested in, Ricky. Maybe, possibly. How about that Criterion sale going on right now, huh? Here's the thing. This happens. I mean, I think I talked about it like 2 or 3 weeks ago that there was probably going to be a Criterion sale toward the end of the month. And here we are, March 24th, 2026. And yeah, at noon today, 11 Eastern, Criterion 24-hour flash sale, 50% off of their list price. Now, usually that means that Blu-rays are going to be 20, 4Ks are going to be 25, unless it's some sort of multi-disc set, kind of thing, Like, for example, Citizen Kane is actually 30, and the reason it's 30 is because list price is 60. So,
Gonna have my burger.
you're gonna have my burger. It's actually, he said it weird. Gonna have my burger. But thank you, Ricky. I appreciate that. So yeah, yeah. It's a thing, man. So go to criterion.com if you're interested. 4Ks typically are going to be around $25. It's basically half price of what the list price is. Now, most places will not have them anywhere near the list price. A lot of times, for example, Amazon will have 4Ks for about $35. And then with the 50% off sale, they'll be $25. You know what I mean? So it's not like yeah, you get some money off. But I went ham, as the kids say. I went crazy today. There's a lot. Because what I did is I made my initial order and was like, this is good. This is good. I'm happy with it. It's a little more than I wanted to spend, but that's good. And then apparently because I've purchased so much from Criterion over the years, they sent me a $50 gift card. So I went and bought 3 more. So there's that. So, time to start selling dubs of your ish, Justin. Bailed out on the Criterion, aka balled out on the Criterion, aka spent dough. Gotcha. You spent some dough. You balled out. I've never heard that before. Texas tacos are different. So damn good. Well, here's the thing. You've got your traditional, almost like, I'm not going to say like Taco Bell, but you know what I mean? Like your hard shell or whatever. But then you've got your street tacos with the corn tortillas that are they double them up because they can break and kind of almost like splinter or not splinter, but they kind of tear a little bit. So you need the double, right? Dude, dude, dude. Okay, next time I go to this little place, I'll show you. I'll take a picture and I'll show you, and you're gonna go, ah, you're gonna be like freaking Macaulay Culkin, and you're gonna be like, that looks so freaking good, and I want to be like, it is good. So, and seriously, I have to stop myself from ordering like 10 of them because I know that I know for a fact that I could put down 10 of these bad boys. I get 4, but I know I could eat 10. Guaranteed you I could eat 10 because they're so good. I mean, it's basically 3 bites. Hum shum shum, and then you're like, all right, next one. Shum shum shum. Dude, I can put them down so fast, but I try to savor them. They're awesome. They're awesome. I'm telling you. Not Rob bringing the gun show. I don't really have a whole lot of guns to show off. I mean, I don't have any guns. Anyway, I don't know ninjutsu. There's no comparison anywhere. I'm clapping with my cheeks. Farting? Not gritty enough. Oh, you're talking about Project Hail Mary. Not gritty enough. Yeah. I don't like it because there's no cuss words and no one talks like that. Really? Here's the thing though. The guy teaches 6th grade science. It is possible that he's basically just trained himself from not saying those words. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm around my parents, well, my dad, mom's gone, but if I'm around my family, I'm not going to use curse words. Is it possible that he just doesn't talk like that? The guy from Scrubs is Zach Samsonite. I knew it. I knew it. A good day to you, Robert Rivera. And if I had seen that, I would have been like, oh yeah, Zach Braff. You know. You can watch a movie at midnight. Well, for whatever reason, the Mario movie is the first showing. I guess it's because it comes out on Wednesday. They decided not to do Tuesday night screenings because usually, like, for example, the most movies that come out on Friday, they'll usually start showing the movie around 2 p.m. on Thursday. At least that's what it is around here. So if a movie comes out on Friday, usually the first screening will be around the 2 p.m. hour. 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. The smaller the movie, the later the movie will start. Usually, like, for example, what was the movie? I'm trying to remember. A movie that wasn't like a huge, like Project Hail Mary was probably in what, 4,000, 4,100 theaters? I don't know. Lots of freaking theaters. Okay. Nationwide, a worldwide release. But I'm talking about, a movie that might only be on one screen because it's a smaller film. Sometimes they won't do a screening earlier than say 7:00 on the Thursday. But for whatever reason, because Mario Galaxy is coming out on Wednesday, the earliest showing is at 12:01 a.m. on Wednesday. So, there you go. It's weird. I don't know why they're doing it. But I'm actually glad that I'm going to be able to see it a little bit early. And then I can wake up Wednesday morning and do a review. So, Samuel, welcome. Good to see you. What happened? Your face. Yeah. Pokopia is freaking addicting. It really is. It really is. I'm telling you, I'm having a good time with it. But again, probably 3 to 4 hours. I don't know exactly when I pull the trigger. But what it was I got back from going to the grocery store, and I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do any reading yet. Because I'm really close to the end of Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson. I'm really close to the end, and the next chapter was like, I think my Kindle said it was going to be an hour and 4 minutes to read it, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to start a chapter that doesn't end for an hour. I'm going to bed. So then last night I was like, okay, I definitely want to start reading a bit early. Well, I ended up reading till 3 in the morning anyway because I'm insane, and I still haven't finished the book. So it's one of those, you know. But man, dude, I'm telling you, we're getting a series on Apple TV and a series of movies out of these books, and I am pumped. I am pumped to be able to see this because the way that he writes, I can see it. And I'm really interested to see who they're going to pick for some of these characters, you know, who they're going to cast, because this could be amazing. Amazing stuff. It did the alert for that, but not the Scrubs dude one. I know why. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see if it'll. I hit the button for it to play again. Dude, I never know. Again, on Mac, Streamlabs has basically said, "Screw you guys. Yeah, until we fix it, you're pretty much screwed. So have fun." And that's really all they say. Unless you want to use our software, in which case, and I don't because it's different.
It's the Scrubs dude.
You saw me click the button and it took that long to come up. That's ridiculous. But anyway. Uh and Pixel Phoenix, welcome, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you. A good yeah. And Johnny said, "Oh, see, well, Johnny, he said he's probably already gone. He said just wanted to stop in to say bye. I'm not really doing well. I love the time I've spent here and the people I've met. I hope you guys know how great you are. Johnny, I hope you're doing okay. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to your message. But again, just as Justin says, reach out anytime, friend. Seriously. I hope you're doing okay. Cosma, good to see you, sir. Old time talking. I used to edit on a reel-to-reel machine. Wow. Thanks for the thanks for the computer, not the cracker. Thanks for the computer and Adobe Audition. Yeah, I mean, I used to do a lot of editing. Oh God, what was the software I used to use? My audio editor. It wasn't an Audition. It was one that was a free one, but it wasn't like the free one that's used a lot now. It's a different one. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I mean yeah. Digital editing is good stuff. Just do another half hour, Bucho said. Yeah. Everybody, look, here's the thing. Lately, it seems even more, more apparent that we're all going through stuff. and we go through stuff at different times in our lives. And then of course things just happen to us, you know? And unfortunately, it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes you just don't feel like you have any control, but you do. Sometimes you can't control what's going on out there, but you can control how you react to it. Sometimes. Sometimes you can't control it, you know what I mean? But a lot of times that helps me to know that, you know what? I'm going to I'm not going to worry about that anymore. I can't control that person. I can't control that thing. I can't control this situation. So I'm not going to put any more energy into it. And then there's other situations where you can't do that, and you're just going through stuff and you've got to see it through. And all I can say is you got a support system here. You know, we may not be able to sit there and, you know, give you a hug or hold your hand or, you know, you know, get you a beer from the fridge, you know what I mean? But we're here, okay? So as long as everybody, we all know this, we all support each other, and some of us support with only just those words, and sometimes the words are enough, and sometimes we're doing a thing, you know, like Justin's out there doing a thing, and he's got a thing that you can go to his website, justinyates.com, YATES, you know, pick up a CD or a shirt or any number of things that he's got that, you know, whatever, you know what I mean? So some of us, we're going to support that dude. Some of us wrote a book. Derek, which I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. I think he said he was really busy. But I bought his book. Now I haven't read it yet because I'm still trying to finish this book up that I've been reading for a month and a half. It's so fat, this book. But I'm almost done. And then I'm going to read Derek's book. And that's one of the things is like we should support each other. If some of us are doing artistic stuff, we should support each other. We should support us. We should support us. You know what I mean? So yeah, I choose to do that. And on top of that, I think we've been here for each other more than just about any community that I've ever been a part of. So I'm proud of us. I think we've made a lot of progress. So I don't know what else to say other than we got each other's back, and I think that's really cool. 7th brought up Dust Bunny. Now, if you remember, some of you may remember this. In fact, let me do this. Some of you may remember I brought this up back last year when this movie came out in theaters. And guess what? It wasn't showing anywhere around me. But this is a horror movie. Well, this says horror action. I thought it was like a horror comedy. But you got Mads Mikkelsen, Sigourney Weaver, David Dastmalchian, and it looked interesting. And I looked at the trailer and went, yeah, I kind of want to see that. Apparently, 7th watched it. He really enjoyed it. So, hey, Dust Bunny. You're gonna have my burger. I got Criterion's Princess Bride 4K on Amazon on sale for $26, I think. Don't remember now. Well, here's the thing. The first thing that I bought today, the first Criterion movie I bought today was actually on Amazon. And the reasoning is because I got one of those things where it was a coupon. And the coupon made it was a 4K, and I got it for $22. So yeah, every now and then you will get uh you will get a deal. And it says that it's going to be here. It says 10 stops away. So it's still on the way. So yeah. But yeah, I'm just I'm one of those people that, to me, Criterion is so much fun because, you know, you get to own a movie, number one, and number two, sometimes you just don't know what you're going to get. But you can almost bet that if you're one of those people that enjoys film, almost every single one you watch, there will be a reason why it's important. Why it's important to film history, why uh it's there's a reason why it's on the Criterion collection. And I can say that of the movies I purchased or that I watched this week, there were, let's see, I hadn't seen that one, hadn't seen that one, and I hadn't seen that one. I will say that I really liked one out of the three that I'd never seen before. But I'm glad that I own all of them. Like, I'm glad that this one, which really wasn't my favorite, I'm glad that I own it because I like the special features. I liked listening to the commentary. There's something about, if you're into movies and you're into film, you're into editing, you're into the way things are shot, you're into the way movies are made. Man, the Criterion collection is just so much fun. So there you go. The Princess Bride has been one of those movies that's been on my list for years. And the reason that I haven't bought it yet is because, holy crap, I've bought it on every format. And it's a movie that I know that I've seen it so many times that it's like, the only reason that I'm really buying this isn't because, oh, I want to have a pristine version, because I think the Blu-ray looks great. The Blu-ray is actually really good on the studio released version of Princess Bride is really great. The reason that I'm going to be buying it is for the special features. And also, I've been focused more on movies that I've never seen before, or movies that I haven't seen in years and years and years. That's just the way I roll these days. So, in fact, let's see. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Where is it? I've seen 1/4 of the movies that I've purchased today. The rest of them are they're brand new to me. So that's just how I roll. A quick selfie video review next time. Damn, just take the compliment. What was... I don't know what the... I don't know what the compliment was. But I will say that I am one of those people that, yes, I do have a hard time taking compliments. Just who I am. So, yeah. Hard time. Hard time. I wonder if there's going to be kids there. You know, KP Senti, I'm wondering the same thing. I mean, I would hope not, but you never know. With 1201 screenings, you never know. It's been a while since I've been to one. I think the last one that I went to, the only thing that I can think of is Rogue One. And that was what, 2016? So I don't know. Haven't been buying as many 4Ks lately because I blew half my bonus on LG 77-inch OLED, Denon receiver, Polk 5 speaker system, and 2 switch 2s. I mean, that is a hell of a purchase list there. Yeah, I wonder, Seven, did you get that deal that I saw the other day on the 77-inch C5? The LG C5 they had on sale for like $1,600, which is nuts. That's $300 less than when I paid for my C2 back when the C2 was already a year old. So it's just it's like, dude, TVs are so cheap now, and it's getting dumb. It's getting just really dumb. It's getting to the point where you I mean, I'm not saying that people should do this, but you really probably could upgrade your TV every freaking year. I don't know. But a freaking $1,600 LG C5, dude. Now, I want the I want to say it was the G5 that I wanted, but it's like in the threes and can't justify it because it's the same size as what we have. So I can't justify buying a TV until this one starts to do weird crap. Because I've had this for what, 3 or 4 years now? Yeah. Wait, KP Cindy, what do you wait, how much? It was a 77-inch LG C5 for $1,600, I think at Best Buy. I don't know. I saw it on, it was one of those, Wario64 over on Twitter/X. Man, he always posts some of the greatest deals that come across. And yeah, I saw that and went, ooh, yikes, that'd be nice. But I have a C2. It's still a lot of money, no doubt. But considering, like I said, I paid $1,900. I want to say it was $1,899 or it might have been $1,799. Anyway, $1,800 or $1,900 like 3 or 4 years ago for the C2. In fact, it was so good that Billy ended up buying one. So it's kind of funny. You go over to you, and what's funny is, so I bought the C2, then he bought the C2. He bought the Panasonic 4K player, and then I bought the Panasonic 4K player. So basically, I don't have anybody to compete against, with that anymore. But, it's not a competition, But yeah. And again, there would be times it would be like we'd almost be fighting to see who was going to send the announcement for this movie first. Sometimes it would be him, sometimes it would be me. But then I'd be like, "Oh, I need to pre-order that," or "Oh, I can't wait for that," or whatever, I mean, yeah. Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, I just heard something get delivered. Because I think I heard a beep. Okay, maybe not, because this says 8 stops away, but I thought I heard a beep. It says 8 stops away. Okay, well, we're just going to wait. We're just going to wait. Anyway. But going back to what Seventh said, a Polk 5 speaker system. See, me, like, what we ended up doing is we ended up going into the Best Buy whatever, and we knew my biggest issue with our basically making our speaker system is that we didn't want freestanding speakers, and we didn't want like, how like they have it where it's kind of like, how do I explain this? Like your speaker's off the wall and there's like a pole that comes out and then it kind of tilts down or whatever, and you kind of have to do that. We didn't want that. And we didn't want like a speaker on a pole that just kind of sat there. Because number one, we know we trip on it. We have what's called an open plan open, isn't that what it's called? So basically, it's not the best for a surround sound experience anyway because of how this room is shaped. We have a living room, but then right behind there's the bar and then the kitchen, and it's all open. So, and they're high ceilings too. So there were a lot of things that were kind of working against us for what we could get. So what we ended up doing is we ended up putting two speakers in the ceiling, and then we got two. I've shown them to you. I think I've shown them on stream before. They're definitive technology like towers on either side of the TV, and then a center channel, which is the Mythos 3, I believe it was what it is. They don't make it anymore, but it's a 5 speaker unit center channel. It's awesome. And the reason that I wanted that one is because I'd read a review at the time that said that if you can get the Mythos 3, they'd already stopped selling them. So if you can find a Mythos 3 in stock, what's good about those is that if you're watching a lot of older films, when it's in mono, the mono will sound really, really good in there. And then depending on the feed, and again, none of this matters now because everything is like, even like regular TV shows are in 5.1 now, you know, but, or a lot of them are, but they were saying that it'll like everything sounds good through the speaker. Music sounds good. And even if it's a mono signal, it's going to sound separated. It's going to sound great. So that was the reason that I wanted that center channel. But those towers are awesome because the subs are built into the tower. It's got speakers on top that face, they're about this far away from the wall, and they do bounce back really well. So, and then it's got that thing with my receiver where you put a microphone, which you probably know this. If you got a Denon receiver, which you probably meant you had to set it up by putting the microphone and all the different seating positions, and then it does all the figuring out of the room and the way that it sounds in there, and it basically tweaks it perfectly. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I'm hoping that you're enjoying that system. Sounds awesome. I don't know what it is. I'm just not really hyped for the Mario Galaxy movie like I was for the Mario Brothers movie. Well, I mean, as soon as April saw that it was another Mario movie, she was like, "We're watching that." I'm like, "Okay." And so I don't really care, you know. Like, I'm one of those where some of those movies I can just not watch, but that one, I was like, "All right, let's go watch it." And then I thought the trailers look fun, so we'll see. We shall see. Vegas, Windows Movie Maker, iMovie. No, I'm talking about mid 90s, late 90s audio editing. SoundForge. Does that sound right? SoundForge? SoundForge. SoundForge Audio Studio. Yep, that's it. Which I don't. And that was for Windows back in late 90s. That's what I used to use. SoundForge. It's weird. I could not come up with it, but then when I forgot about it for a second, then okay, wait a minute. SoundForge. Yeah. So, and I've also watching you all this time finally got to me. Not all the way. Bought a little salt vape thing, kind of like a Juul. Currently vaping Frozen Fruit Monster Banana Ice. Menthol. Hey. I mean, look, I got a thing. And I'm telling you, man, it's nice to have something that's compact that you can take and not have to worry about, oh, I hope it doesn't, I hope it don't blow too much. Like all that. It's too much. That's too much for public consumption. But no, it's cool. The banana ice menthol. Okay, so I'm one of those where I can't stand the ice flavors. It's weird too because when I used to smoke, That's all I used to smoke was menthols. Now it's like I stay away from pretty much anything ice or menthol or anything like that. There's two different things. There's actual menthol, and then there's another one that's called WS-23. And apparently, WS-23 is basically you get the cooling effect, but without any kind of, it doesn't alter the flavor any. And so a lot of companies were just putting in WS-23 in like a bunch of their stuff. And now it's gotten to where almost everything has some sort of chilling effect, especially like disposables and stuff. A lot of them have the chilling stuff in it, and I don't like it. And so like everything that I have, I get it without. If there's an option without, I'll get it without. And if it doesn't have the option and it's just in there, I usually won't get it. But I hope you like it though, man. Whatever it is. I said that after that Maxell cassette player. Oh, yes. Yes. And yeah, I gotta say, Justin and Rufus's video was one of the reasons where I was like, I need to go ahead and place an order for Justin. So I did that today. So there you go. I'm into that stuff, but not watching. You should totally be into that. I'm just kidding. You do what you want to do, KP Senti. I watched Gun Superman on 4K on this new TV yesterday. I was disappointed. Dancing pixels everywhere. Almost looks like a snowy image from bad reception. I think maybe it's the fake film grain thing he did, and it messed with the transfer so bad it almost looks like a DVD. The fake film grain thing he did. Yeah, I've never had that. One of the things that I do on a TV, I mean, you may already know this, and you may be like, yeah, dude, I know that. But like, I turn off all of the effects. I don't like any of the noise reduction. I don't like, it's like, if whatever it is that's what I want to see. I don't need smoothing. I don't need noise reduction. I don't need brightness, like enhanced brightness. I turn all of the enhancements and effects off. And especially on LG's TVs now, I don't even do the user agreements anymore. So it basically turns it into a dumb TV. I don't use any of the built-in LG software anymore because of all the tracking that they do. And I can't stand that. Which basically means you either need a set-top box, or like a Roku, or a was it Chromecast, or an Apple TV, or it's only for Blu-rays and 4Ks and stuff. But also keep in mind that I have two 4K players, because the Sony that I bought for like $140 doesn't do well with dual layer 4K discs. So what would happen is, depending on where the transition is, it would just freeze, and it wouldn't play the Sony. So I had to end up buying the $400 Panasonic, right? Panasonic UB820 is the one that I bought, because it can handle all that. One of the discs that I had that problem with was David Lynch's Dune. It would not, and we're talking like 30 minutes in the movie, and it wouldn't advance past that part of the movie on the Sony player. Put in the Blu-ray, everything was fine. Get this new Panasonic, it plays just fine, no problems. So, yeah, that's a thing too. I want a speaker surround setup. That sounds lovely. Dude, there are times when, there were especially times when we would watch regular TV. And this is back when we still had, actual cable, before we cut the cord. But April would be watching some random show, and it'd be in the hospital. And a lot of TV, they just did not know how to do effective 5.1. So it would be literally mostly stereo. And then out of nowhere, there'd be like, paging doctor, whatever. And it would come and it would sound like, you're like, what the, whoa. And it would be so loud. So, but it's awesome. With the right setup and with the right movie, man, it's great. It's so great. And dude, playing video games in 5.1, it's hard to go back, man. It's hard to not play them that way. It's hard not to want to play them that way. So I mean, like the Switch basically was a home console for me. It was never something that and the Switch 2 is quickly becoming that too. My TV has an ant in it. Dude, I remember, okay, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. There was it was my dad's audio receiver. And one year we had, and it was something, it was like everywhere in Grand Prairie. There was like an infestation of crickets. There were crickets everywhere. It was like you couldn't go outside. It was like you were stepping on crackers. It was just you know that scene in Temple of Doom when Short Round says to Indy, feels like I'm step on fortune cookies or something like that. And then he goes, "Oh, that's no cookie." Right? Remember that scene? That's what it was like. There were so many crickets everywhere. It's like I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody I don't know. I don't know why, but they were everywhere. And we had them in our house. We had them in our beds. We had to basically, like everyone in Grand Prairie, where I was growing up, everybody had to get rid of all these crickets. Well, a cricket had gotten into our audio receiver, and it was one of those old Marantz audio receiver, really nice audio receiver, and it had the actual audio meters. Well, there was a space there. He got in there and died right in front of one of the audio meters. So for years, every time you'd walk past it, you'd see this little dead cricket in it, and it was just like, what the hell? That sucked. So, you want a Sony TV? It's gotten to the point now where everybody's got their own version of everything. And for me, LG has always been my favorite for a lot of reasons. But we had a Sony 75-inch before. And the reason that we stopped using it, we ended up selling it to somebody. I can't remember who we sold it to. But we ended up selling it because we were going to upgrade to the LG, but only one of the HDMI, there's 4 HDMI inputs on the back. Only one of them would do 4K 120. And that really irritated me because our receiver was so old that it would only take one input. Right? That was 4K 120, which meant that my PS5, my Xbox, right? I'd have to put it on. Ended up putting it on a switcher so that I could have more than one thing hooked 4K 120. Okay. LG doesn't do that. They paid to have each HDMI port have 4K 120, so I was really happy about it. But then my receiver started to die. So we ended up buying a new receiver, and guess what? It's got every port has 4K 120 on it, so I didn't need the LG TV. But one of the things about the LG screens, I just really like the way that they show everything, the colors and all that stuff. Really, I mean, it's most of the major manufacturers they're gonna do okay. So, and you know what? Last call for the liquid. I know most of you have probably already voted. There's 20 votes. Blueberry filled donut, Erie Solution is in first place with 60% of the vote. In second place is Bones, which is peanut butter strawberry with cream. And then in last place, I feel like I'm going to have to drink. I'm going to have to try this one on my own. Dark vanilla custard, 15%. Terrified Resolution is in third place. So last call, get your votes in because we're about to do the thing. I got the 83-inch G4 OLED. It's beautiful. Glenn, I am jealous. And the thing is, like, everybody says, why do you need anything bigger than a 77? I'm like, because you want I want movie theater size screen, which is probably on that screen in there or on that wall. I want my TV bigger than what my wall is. So, yeah, I'm that guy who I want a movie. Like, I literally want to live in a movie theater. So you can't go big enough for me. So 83 inches is awesome. And it's the G series. Man, I'm good with my 55-inch OLED because I'm only like 4 or 5 feet away from it. That's another thing. You always have to think about that too. You have to think about where it's going to go, where it's going to live. If you're like, for example, I have a 27-inch iMac. It's awesome. It looks great. And it's, what is it? Technically 5K. I mean, it's getting old now. It's almost 6 years old now. But yeah, that's great. Perfectly fine. I can't even imagine a 55. Like if I had a 55-inch, that'd be really nice, actually. I could just sit here and watch movies. No. This room is for doing things. But yeah, you keep that. Yeah. That pisses me off a bit. The C5 was $2,200 here. But see, that's the thing though. You're going to see that. It happens all the time. It's going to be like, oh, there's a flash sale. And then you read the fine print and maybe it was refurbished. So you never know. All I know is I saw it. I went, ooh, and then went, nope, I'm not even going to look. I got the B5 for $14.99 because I don't have anything that supports anything better than 120 hertz anyway. Still looks amazing, but damn. So I guess you don't have a PS5? Thank goodness I don't watch and like movies. That's my 48-inch TV, 4K TV is fine. There's nothing, dude. I'm not saying that everybody has to have a 77-inch or an 83-inch. I'm not saying that. And it doesn't have to be 4K 120. But all I know is that it irritated me that because of Sony's cheapness, they cheaped out on their HDMI ports. I can't have more than one 4K 120 thing hooked up. That pissed me off. And it basically made me go, well, Sony's out of the picture for the next TV. That's just the way I looked at it. But I'll compete with you now, Rob. Uh-oh. Dude, I can't keep up with you. There is no way. That was at Best Buy, but Temple Best Buy where the only competition is Walmart. No, this was an online thing. So I guarantee you that would have been, there was something, what was it? There was something somewhat recently. I can't remember what it is. I wonder if it's something I bought for somebody else. Anyway, I just remember going, okay, online it says this price and in store it says this price. And so I went, I want it for that price. And they went, oh yeah, we'll honor that. Well, it should because it says Best Buy on it. Y'all aren't franchised, right? You're freaking honoring that. I'm not showing you this to go, oh, can you match your own website? No, I'm showing you this so you're going to charge me the right price. Ass. So that could have been what it is though. Like I said, I didn't look into it. That beep was in your head? Maybe. I may have been looking forward to it. It says, okay, you're slow. It now says 6 stops. And they're all in the same neighborhood. Why is it taking you so freaking long? Anyway, I'm interested in mini LED because OLED can have burn-in. Yeah, but that's over 1,000 hours of a static image. Like, I mean, I guess if you're a heavy gamer, especially if you're into one game, that could be an issue. I don't have that issue. I don't play video games that much, and I watch a lot of movies. I vary what I watch a lot. So, yeah. My dream since childhood is a 5.1 setup so I can play all the Dolby Pro Logic games I grew up with but didn't get to experience. It is an experience. I heard you should move your movie surround setup into an actual room so you don't deal with sound placement stuff. Well, yeah, but there is no other room in this house that could have that. And both my wife and I were like, we watch so many movies, we need a good surround sound system because she's a dork. I mean, she's not as much of a dork about it as I am, let's be honest. But we both agreed on that. And when we told the guy, we had a really helpful guy at Best Buy. And this was what, 2008 or whatever. And he was like, yeah, he goes, that is a common problem in this neighborhood. So, yeah, what you want is something like this that's going to be able to do this. And I said, well, why am I buying a 9.1 system when I only really need 5.1? He said, there's two reasons. Number one, you're going to need a good whatever, blah, 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 whatever it was in there. But he said, and then another one is Denon has a great setup. So it's a mixture of you need it to be a Denon, and then you want it. I can't remember. I think it's because of all the inputs that I had. Because he said, okay, what are you gonna have hooked up to it? So it was that was the cheapest at the time. It was the cheapest receiver that had as many inputs as I needed. So I wouldn't have to have any switch boxes or anything like that, and had the Denon setup. So anyway, there you go. So yeah, that's a common thing though. An open what do you call that? Open concept. Since that's a common thing, yeah. So no, I don't have a studio or a what do you call it? A theater room or anything like that. So 2 Polk towers, a 5-speaker Polk center channel. Oh, there you go. And 2 Polk surrounds on stands. This room has a vaulted ceiling about 18 foot at the highest, so lots of natural reverb to deal with. Yes. Wave pad. I don't know what wave pad is. Love banana ice. Mike Tyson vape has that. Oh, there you go. See, that's something he's definitely been doing that lately. He's gotten into that. Weird. Of course, there was another one. There was another. I think there was a Dennis Rodman vape. Whatever. Now my son has my old 32-inch Techniques sound system. Still works like new. Dolby Pro Logic, 120 watts, massive tower speakers with JBLs. That's pretty good. Yes, I watched your video, Rufus. Yes, I did. And I was going to, in fact, no, I finished it. Because you got all close to the camera. I was going to comment, but then I got distracted, and then this happened. So there you go. If you invite me over for movie night on your fancy setup, I will gladly watch movies. I turn all of that off too. Yeah, definitely turn off any of the smoothing, any of the extra, and we're talking about on the sound as well, because you don't want any of that crap. Wait, he filmed it digitally and then tried to simulate 35 millimeter, all FX off. If you're talking about the choreographer, that's a common thing. That technique is from Greg Fraser on the first Dune movie. That doesn't mean that that's what caused that issue. I can guarantee you I didn't see any of that when I watched the movie on HBO Max or when I saw it in the theater. So, I don't know. NVIDIA Shield, the TV OS is too slow. Yeah, definitely anything. Don't buy a smart TV based on the smart functions. Buy a smart TV because it's got all the audio and video functions that you require. Don't, and then whatever you do, stop using the smart stuff and get your own set top box or whatever. You know, whether you're doing stuff all on your gaming system, anything is preferable to the built-in. At least that's my opinion. I haven't seen one that's that good. So good to know you have good to know you have 2 players. Now I'll do nothing with that information. It's just a thing. It's just that I had to upgrade my player because it doesn't deal well with layer switching. I use my PS5 for 4K's Blu-rays because it's region free. Well, here's the thing though. If you have HDR on these movies, you're not going to be getting HDR from your PS5 because Sony, again, has HDR in their games, but they cheaped out and didn't want the HDR license for their drive. So even though you're getting all the pixels, but you're not getting all of the color information, which is just one of those things that it's so irritating. And guess what? Xbox did the exact same thing. So I have the Series X and I have the PS5, and I will use it every now and then as a Blu-ray player because that's perfect. It's fine. But for 4K, I'm just telling you. They don't have HDR or Dolby Vision on either one of those. So, just saying. I miss when music shows used to have vocal center channel only. They barely do that anymore. I keep voting for Vanillas. Oh. Vanilla's good, man. I'm probably going to have to try that on my own. But 21 votes. And it looks like blueberry filled donut. By the time we get there, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to go get some water and then we're going to try it. All right. My parents have a 90-inch and initially their room was not correct for it. And I was like, what the hell? Then they rearranged the room and I get it now. It's amazing. Yeah. You am that guy. Yes, Pixel. Yes. Freaking Adam Long. What a great dude. As far as I know, my PS5 Pro only goes up to 4K 120, and that's only if the game supports it. That is true. That is true. That's cool your wife watches movies. Well, honestly, we haven't watched a whole lot of movies together lately. She watches a ton in her room, but that's because she's usually working or doing something creative. That's how she go, you know? So it's very rare that we both want to watch the same movie at the same time. We try to plan for that kind of stuff, but lately we've just been going to the theaters. So, because like I said, we watched Project Hail Mary twice last week because it's that good. So, and the pixel refresher. Yes. I've researched TVs, complex stuff. I mean, it really is, Samuel. It really is. There's a lot of different things that you can, pros and cons in this, and plus every year they try to come out with some new thing that's going to make everybody go, ooh, we need to get that. I mean, they're doing Dolby Vision 2 for crying out loud. Why? How many people actually have everything they need to experience Dolby Vision on their setup? It's just one of those things, man. Burn-in on OLED isn't as much an issue these days. They've implemented systems that reduce the chance of it way better than 5 years ago. For sure. In fact, my C5 or my C2 has something where if it recognizes that and it's something staying static for too long, it'll adjust the pixels just a little, just enough. So I've had my OLED for 4 years, no burn-in. I got to use one that was only a year old and has burn-in since they left it on the same screen all the time for their PC. Ugh. Open floor plan. Thank you, 7th. Yes. My OLED with the burn-in is just a backup TV laying around. Chris, what's going on? Just got back from watching Project Hail Mary. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Rodman's vape probably tastes like used. Used paintings from a Japanese vending machine lying in a dirty ashtray. I mean, that's probably true. Just probably true. Hope everyone is having a wonderful time. I'm having a wonderful time. I hope everybody else is too. We just picked a freaking thing and we're about to try the vape and the And Bucho, by the way, you were trying to, at least the way that I took it, you were trying to say a funny. Like, well, who plays Mary? Well, I was like, well, of course it's Ryan Gosling. He plays every part in this movie. Trying to come up with a joke. Then I come to find out the second time I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, he calls the ship Mary. He calls the ship Mary. So there is actually a voice of Mary. There you go. I've never heard of this person though, but it's on IMDb. It's kind of funny. PS5 isn't a good standalone player. You need a true standalone 4K player that supports everything to take advantage of the 4K features. I mean, that's true, but HDR settings for movie playback, but only HDR10 or HLG, no Dolby Vision. Oh, well, maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. All I know is that Dolby Vision is awesome. And on the right movies, it's badass. Because you don't know how to quit. Well, I know that, Bucho. I understand that. But we are caught up. I'm going to take a small break so I can get some water and maybe, maybe put my pee in there. And then we're going to try the thing, blueberry filled donut one with 62% of the vote. So, in fact, before we do that, why don't we do it? We try it off the nuck. Why don't we try it off the nuck? By the way, I don't think I showed this earlier. Freshly wicked, ready to go. Ready to go. Blueberry filled donut. Now, as I've said before, sometimes a donut flavor meant this is going to taste like Play-Doh. And I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. There was one that I tried. It said this is the best donut flavor on the market. And I said, buy. I bought it, put it on there. It tasted like glazed Play-Doh. It was disgusting. So you never know. Smells, dude, I'm just gonna look. It smells amazing. You see that? There it is. Dude. Okay. Dude. All right. Oh yeah, I turned it off. That's good. Dude. Let me see if I can do this here. Let me wait for this to. How can I do this? I don't think I can do this. Maybe like that. Focus. Why is this not? There you go. See, okay, that's about as close as I can get. Okay. Let me see if I can get this to where you can watch it. You can't really see it. But it just kind of slowly just seeps in there. It's kind of nice. It's kind of a comforting thing to watch. But anyway, now it's on. We have liquid on there. Okay, dude. Man, this smells amazing. The smell is freaking amazing. There you go. It's going in. All right. Yeah, dude. Okay, we're gonna try it, and then I'm gonna go get some water. Okay. I'm not sure. I'll be right back. Sorry. Sorry. Uh, as I went to check, I turn on the porch light, and she was walking up. And I was like, and she was like, oh, and I'm like, oh, hey, sorry, I was just checking to see if it was here. Yeah. But there's something weird with this. So sometimes when you wick these coils, if you've got your cotton too tight, look, trust me, there's nothing sexual about this, but sometimes when your wicking is too tight, it can pull on your coil and you can get a hot spot. But what that means is that a portion of your coil is heating up faster than the rest of the coil, and it can make the liquid burn. It tastes like I did that because when I first put the cotton in here, it seemed to move a little bit. Now, this can work itself out. Um, or you may have to just rewick it. Right now, it's hard to tell. But honestly, I'm also tasting soap, which may mean that I didn't rinse this well enough. So there's a lot that's I'm not quite getting what the flavor should be. Okay? It's very mild though. Like off the nuck, this was like intensely like blueberry cinnamon glazed donut, or not cinnamon, glazed donut. Those are the two flavors. I'm not getting that. Uh you're washing your mouth out with soap. I mean a little bit. But it's just I'm just saying it's a little it's not sometimes you need to let things go for a tank or so. In this case, I might need to just go ahead and rewick it, and not right now because it takes too long. It takes too long to clean it out, burn it off, wait for it to cool down, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to do all that on stream. But I'm hoping that's what it is because the flavor that the taste of it is really good, but I think it just may be a mild flavor. See, I'm already getting less soapy flavor. I gotta turn the fan on so I don't set off the smoke alarm. Sorry about my unsightly lip, but anyway, it's from what I can taste, it's not bad. It's not Play-Doh-y, which is great. It would suck if it was Play-Doh-y. Like I would have already stopped vaping it if it tasted Play-Doh-y. It just tastes like there's something not quite right. Hello, Filbert. Welcome, sir. You're here for the Rob. You're getting it, and you're about to get uh some of the news and what I watched this week. So yeah. Um, why did you all choose the bad flavor? I mean, I read yesterday that Mel Gibson's Resurrection of the Christ will be a two-parter. It includes the history of the Nephilim from the Book of Enoch. He's taken Jesus Lord of the Rings style. I mean, it makes sense, man. The first movie was made a ton of money. And if you know anything about that crew, boy, they like their movies. And this can be, I mean, honestly, if he makes 3 good movies, who's to complain? I mean, I love Ben-Hur. I'm not really like I'm not a religious person, but Ben-Hur is an awesome movie. So, and actually Passion of the Christ was I mean, it was a good movie. It was just a good movie. I'm not quite sure about the ending. And I'm not talking about like you mean what happens in the Bible? No. It's the way that he shot it. He almost shot it like he was like Jesus is back and he's pissed. I mean, there's just something about the way that it ended that made me go, okay. But it was cool. It was a good movie. Honestly, not sure about Passion 2 because Caviezel's not coming back. Oh, Mel recast it because he didn't want to shell out for de-aging Jim in every shot. Oh, that's a great point. I didn't know he recast. Do we know who he cast? Saw another trailer for Disclosure Day. I'm hoping that movie doesn't suck. Me too. I don't know. Two Passion, two Christs. Yeah, exactly. Sorry for being muted for a few seconds there. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's not what I thought off the nuck. I'll just say that. The battle scars add character. Well, I got plenty of character. The fact is, I when I grow up, when I was growing up, I had pretty bad acne, but no scarring. It was only after all the surgeries and all the stuff, man, and my system was, I mean, my whole system was super infected. Man, it scarred me up. I mean, I have scars all over my body now, all over it. I look like a freak. But I mean, I'm talking about all this. It looks crazy. The scarring is nuts. But because I had such severe acne when that was going on, it did the same thing. I mean, I never had scars all over my, like, this is a new one. I have a new one. I have scarring here and here and here. It's everywhere. And I can't, there's nothing I can do about it. But now I'm just kind of like, now I'm in that point in my life where I just don't care. You know, who cares? You know? And again, it's not for doing anything badass. It's for, hey, I almost died. Whatever. Guess who's back? Back again. Yeah. Check IMDb. I think it's some unknown Italian actor. Hey, I mean, look, you can say a lot about Mel Gibson, and a lot of it may be correct, but the dude knows how to cast, and he knows how to direct. That dude can direct. I mean, what was the Flight Plan movie? Not great, but man, for what it was, that movie was pretty good. Was it the best movie ever? No. Will I watch it again? Probably not. But I enjoyed watching it. So, and that's even with Mark Wahlberg. And I hate Mark Wahlberg. Now I can say that without having any problems. I don't like Mark Wahlberg. Okay? I just never have. Not a fan. Yeah, we saw and even on Monday night when we saw it, like last Monday, Project Hail Mary, there were we were expecting to not have any trailers. We had a full thing of trailers, and most of it was the same crap that we've all seen 100 times. But then on Thursday's showing, why I was late to Game Day, by the way, for the folks that are Game Day fans, I was late to Game Day on Thursday because I went and saw Project Hail Mary again. They had, we got the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, which is pretty good. And then we got the Dune 3 trailer, which was awesome. So, yeah, good stuff. I have scars now too. I somehow got some from a stupid ass heart monitor, and I'm like, girl, be for real. Okay then. I'm covered in scars from being a country boy fighting animals. Well, that's different. Even that's cooler than, oh, I was trying to get this thing done and it popped me in the face. It's dumb, man. Passion of the Christ 2 is basically zombie Jesus. I mean, zombies. It's a great fantasy movie. Well, here's the thing. I don't usually, that's another, just like politics, I don't talk about religion on this here show. All I say is I'm not a religious person, and I'm not. But my whole thing is, and there's a part of me that's kind of wants to do like a philosophy type show where I talk about some of that stuff, because man, I can talk about that, because, you know, I took a year of philosophy in college, which made me really fun to be around. But anyway, it was one of those things where I know a lot about it. I'm interested in it, and I'm interested in the philosophy of religion, if that makes sense, and the sociology of religion, like what and why people believe what they believe, and all those things are really interesting to me. But I also know that there are people that are great friends of mine that are religious people, and they are not, and family members that are very religious. And I don't want to belittle anyone's belief system, you know, because it's one of those things that's, yeah, I mean, yeah, you could sit there and say, you know, you could be militaristic about your opinion no matter where you stand, you know. I mean, how many times, if you do that, then you're going to hell. I mean, here in the US, I mean, and where I live, I've heard that a lot. But it's just one of those things where it's like I'm a very live and let live, kind of thing. But I also enjoy the scientific talk, and I enjoy being able to have a discussion about it without making it turn into, well, you're this and you're that, you know what I mean? I enjoy a spirited conversation, but I just, I don't know. I try not to make statements like that. And Glenn, I'm not focused on you as far as like, oh, you can't say that. You can say whatever you want in my chat as far as I'm concerned. I mean, within reason. I mean, try not to say stuff that's going to get me, get my YouTube strikes and whatever. I don't know. But keep the humor and all that stuff, PG-13 to light R. Let's not go too hard if you know what I mean. But at the same time, I enjoy that stuff. I think it's fun. Maki Mak is just not entertaining to me. He's fine in certain roles. And like I said, in Flight Plan, I think he was really well cast in that, and he did a good job. And that's hard for me to say because I'm not a Marky Mark fan. And I shouldn't call him that. It's just like you shouldn't call Dwight. I mean, you can say whatever you want. I don't care. But I mean, Dwayne Johnson probably doesn't. If you just called him The Rock all the time, he'd probably get irritated. Like, dude, my name's Dwayne Johnson. The Rock was my wrestling persona. I'm not The Rock. I'm Dwayne Johnson. You know what I mean? So it's just a thing. So when I was at work, I got my Game Boy Kart reader / writer. I just made my first Game Boy game. Use my game, of course, but I've got some plans. Well, all right, Rufus. As long as I can get a ROM from you or purchase a ROM from you at some point so I can play it on either my Steam Deck or my whatever that other handheld I have is. I'd like to play it. Scar on my head is from getting in a fight and getting hit with a skateboard. Ooh. Scar on my eyebrows from getting hit in the face with a wrench. Not religious at all. My dad reads his Bible every night. My internet died, but you should do a show like that. Do a pilot and see if you like it. Well, see, that's the thing. I know I would enjoy doing it. But I also don't, there are people that are subscribed to me right now that are probably, very religious people. Like I said, including some family and friends. Why would I want to alienate those people? Well, they could just not watch it. Yeah, but that's just one of those things where I don't want to do anything too inflammatory. And I also wouldn't want to alienate all those people that are like, I don't want to watch that. It's like a totally different subject than what I typically do on the channel. And I just don't know if it would work. I mean, you could argue that my live stream already does that. I don't know, but I'm going to start a religion around Star Fox. Oh, whoa. So have we now hit the point with Tom Holland Spider-Man that he's the old jaded Peter, like the no longer quirky kid but grizzled veteran? Well, this is the first time. I mean, to me that's the most exciting thing about this take on Spider-Man is that it's the first time when he isn't going to be like a guest star in his own movie. The first one was very Iron Man centered. Then, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying. All three of those movies feel like they're part of a bigger thing. He's part of a bigger thing. This is him being friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And I'm kind of down for that. I mean, honestly, any Spider-Man story I'm pretty much down with. But this seems interesting. So, haven't seen the trailer for Spider yet. Definitely trying not to. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If you're a Spider-Man fan, regardless, I think this could be good. So you're saying we should call you Rob all the time instead of Order 42. You call me anything you want. I don't care. If somebody came up to me and was like, Order 42, I'd be like, hey, what's up? It'd be fine. But I mean, my name is Rob. If a banker called me Order 42, I think that'd be weird. I don't know. I accidentally saw it and it's meh to me. I'm just not a Holland fan. I get that. Maybe on a separate channel, just do it for yourself. That's why it's a pilot. One episode and go from there after that if you want to continue or not. Maybe. We'll see. After the first Miles Morales trailer, they revealed the other spiders. Man, that would have been a great reveal in a movie, so I don't watch trailers anymore for the stuff I care about. Well, okay. This is not a spoiler. This is just the truth. There will be no live action Marvel Miles Morales. Because all of the Spider-Man movies are distributed by Sony, but they're made by Marvel. And Kevin Feige did an interview where he said, we are not allowed to do anything with Miles Morales right now. So that's just the way it is. So please don't get your expectations up to see, there are people today making videos that are saying, is this Miles Morales in the new Spider-Man trailer? Or is this Miles Morales in the new, Avengers thing? Whatever. No. If it's Marvel, if it's a Marvel movie, you're not going to see a live action Miles Morales. It's just the way it is. So there you go. I did a show pilot for some cheesy ass Sudoku show, and that pilot is not on the internet anymore. Well, there you go. Did you guys talk about the Punisher one last kill on May 12th? I did not, Cosma, but we will. Thanks for ruining it. That's okay. Yeah, we will talk about that. Because, hey, why not? Daredevil starts tonight. And it's 8 episodes. And then the next week will be the Punisher one last kill. There you go. Sets May release date 1 week after the Daredevil Born Again Season 2 finale. Now, I'm a huge Daredevil fan. Huge. Okay? I love Daredevil. And I love the comics. I've always been a Daredevil fan. Punisher is fine. But, dude, the Punisher on Netflix was awesome. So, I'm really... And also, from what I hear, John Bernthal, this was his idea. Because they weren't going to do anything like a full Punisher TV series. Apparently this was John Bernthal's idea, and Marvel liked the idea so much they said, okay, we're going to do, they call it's almost like a special presentation. So that's a thing. So yeah, that is coming. So there you go. I am excited because pretty much anytime you have the Punisher, I'm excited. I call him Rob the Smartest and he hates it. Well, I mean, I don't hate it. I just, I spent most of my adult life trying to shed my ego. And then someone says that and it's like, look, here's the thing. I'm a pretty smart guy. It's just a thing. But I used to brag about it and it wasn't great. It's not good to constantly be patting yourself on the back for something, right? And then at the same time, I was bragging about something that doesn't really mean that you're the best at anything. You have the ability to be smart. Okay. What have you done? So as far as I'm concerned, it's not a thing anymore. And I just don't like talking about it. So I think Christianity actually gels well with Jung's work on synchronicity, but that's not a talk for this show. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but yeah, it's like I am one of those people that I like talking about just about anything, and I don't think that anything in real life should ever be like, oh, we can't talk about that. No, yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. All of that stuff is on the table. And if you are a person that can allow yourself to be to have an open mind, and to be, scientific, logical, reasonable, then you can have a conversation about just about anything and listen to other people's points of view. The problem is a lot of people can't do that, because as soon as they start to feel like they're losing ground, they start to insult. And that's why the internet is the way it is, because everybody thinks in 140 characters, which is not really 140 anymore, but you know what I mean. Everybody thinks in these small little things, everybody, they take in information on just this small little level. Just like I said, hey, that TV was $1,600 from Best Buy. But I didn't read. Maybe it was a refurbished. Maybe it was an open box. Maybe there were so many other things that I didn't know, that I could have been wrong. All I'm trying to say is, it's a thing, you know? And everybody's going to have their, especially with something like religion, where it's sort of baked in at a young age. It's hard to get anybody to change that. But it's, what's more interesting is to see them answer simple questions. Like, okay, I'm not going to ask you, whether you believe this or whether you believe that. No. When did you start believing this? Listen to their answer. Okay. Why did you start believing it at that time? Who taught you? Because, I mean, I've done enough. I've got enough information to know that there's been people that if you learn things before you're able to make memories, you're basically not giving them a choice. Because before you are able to make, like physically able to make memories, it's one of those things where it's like an unshakable truth. It's like, don't touch the stove. It's like, don't cross the streams. It's like, don't step on the cracks. All of those things, you learn at a very young age, and those things are kind of hard to break. You look at the tabula rasa, that whole thing, that's a whole nother thing, which is really, really interesting to me. But again, what's the end goal? That's my whole thing. So what's the end goal? If I could do a show where I could make people just sit and and not challenge. I'm not challenging people, but it's more about, have you thought about this? You ever think about, this is the way this works? How interesting is that? How interesting is that this happens and this is the way that's interesting stuff. Anyway, a lot of religious people will alienate you too. If you openly say you aren't religious, you might even get the "I'll pray for you" comment. I mean, sure. But the weird thing is like I said, I'm not a religious person. And yet there would be people that when I was in the hospital, I'd say, or they would say, "I'll pray for you." And I'm like, "Thank you." Or, "Can I pray with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you can." Because at that moment, and this is where, I think a lot of people, like militaristic, I would say, again, that can be on both sides. When someone says that to you, and especially when you're going through something, that is them being open and loving. Why would I reject that? You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing to witness, is someone being open and loving. And I'm cool with that. I want more of that, And if that's what it took for everyone to be like that, I'd be down with religion. I'd be the only one that'd be like, I don't know if I believe this, but you know what? If everybody else wanted to do that, it would literally make the world a better place if everybody could be on that level. Now, I believe that you can do that without all the dogma and without all the rules and regulations and all the things you have to sign and the getting your getting dunked and having a bread wafer every week. I'm just saying there are ways to do it, to be honorable, courageous, and all those things without all that. But if that's what it took, I'd be down for it. But that's just me. That's not what I read in my leaked script for the failed Kang movie. Miles. Oh. Yeah, well, that may have been a thing. But yeah, that's what I've heard, that Kevin Feige basically did an interview and said, yeah, we've been told hands off. So, is it the superior Ben Affleck Daredevil? I actually own both versions of that movie on DVD. I have the director's cut, and I actually like it. So, is this Daredevil Punisher stuff lead in for Doomsday? Nobody knows. I mean, nobody outside of Marvel knows. Tonight on a very special episode of The Punisher. Yeah. Rob the smartest but humble now that early ego era was just a phase. Hey. Well, see that's the thing is I don't know if that would fit in my Twitch handle, but I like it, Filbert. I like that a lot. It's very roll off the mouth name. Yes. Don't step on a crack, you break your mama's back. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Oh, before we get into the movies, I don't know if you guys have seen this show, but it's on Disney Plus. As you may know or may not know about me, I am a fan of comic books. I like them. I like a they. Okay? I've liked them for a very long time, and I don't believe that there's comic book fatigue. I believe that there's a mediocrity fatigue. So, as far as I'm concerned, as long as you can tell a good story, I'm in, right? Well, there was a show that came on a couple of months ago called Wonder Man. And I thought, I want to watch that because number one, Yahya Abdul Mateen II, who was Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen, I watched him on that. I watched that man and I loved that show. I loved Dr. Manhattan and I became a fan of Yahya Abdul Mateen II. And he's been good in everything I've seen him in. And I'm like, oh, that he looks, yeah, okay. And then you've got Sir Ben Kingsley coming back as Trevor Slattery, aka the Mandarin, in a show about the movies. I wonder if I would be in the you know, I can't think of I can't think of the term, but you get what I mean. I wonder if I would be the kind of person that would like to watch this show. Yes, I am. So I finally watched it. It's very short. I think it's 8 episodes and they're about 30 minutes apiece. So I would say roughly 4 hours. Great. I loved it. The way that I explained it, I think on Discord, is if you're the kind of person that likes watching actors talk to each other, like the variety actor on actor thing, where they talk about their process and they kind of joke around and whatever, and that's like 45 minutes, isn't a lot of them. And you watch that, if you're captivated watching that and you're just like, yeah, this is awesome. This is the kind of show for you. This show is awesome. It shows what it's like to be a young, struggling actor. It shows what it's like to be an aging actor known for a role that may not be, I don't know, may not be the best. It's, dude, it's super cool. It's a super cool show. That's what the show is about, is those two characters. And the way that Yahya Abdul Mateen II and Ben Kingsley, the way they play off each other is phenomenal. There are movie references galore. I loved it. I really, really loved it. It got to the end and I was kind of like, okay, that got a little Marvel-y toward the end. But for the most part, super cool show. Super cool show. And I would recommend it. Like, again, you kind of have to think, are you in to see actors act? And going through auditions and going through, rehearsals and trying different things, as actors. If you're into that, man, this show's cool. It was meant to be a one season, one off, here you go. Until today, apparently. We got the news. Simon Williams and Trevor Slattery will return for Marvel Television's Wonder Man Season 2. Co-created by Destin Daniel Cretton and Andrew Guest, coming to Disney+. I did not see that coming. I really didn't. Because this is the kind of show that there's not a whole lot of people that are talking about this show. But man, this show is cool. And I really enjoyed it. So, there you go. Wonder Man season 2. And you know what? I'm down. I may be one of a very, very small amount of people that's down, but I'm down. And what's great about this show is that it can't be super, it just, the way that the show was made, it cannot be super expensive to make. So it was probably one of those that really got some cool stuff. I would say give it a shot. I mean, if you already have Disney Plus, give it a shot. I'm saying sometimes the "I'll pray for you" comment means a religious FU, as if you're on a path to hell in their eyes if you don't have the same beliefs as them. But again, there are people on all sides of that conversation that will have that. And you know what? Those people aren't worth your time anyway. That's just the way I look at it. And that's a very this is coming from, again, going on 50 years, which is crazy to think, but going on 50 years of having those conversations and having someone at the end of a conversation say that. And yeah, I know what it means. Well, bless your heart. That's another one. That's maybe the Southern way. But again, that's one of those things where those people are not worth your mental energy anyway. There are people in this world that will not change their minds. They can't. Because if they change their minds, that's admitting defeat. Instead of opening their mind, instead of getting better. No. If they admit that they're wrong, holy crap, I just lost my chat. Okay, it's back. But it just reset. Wild. Sorry. But if that's the way that you look at debate, like if you're wrong, then I am somehow diminished as a person, that's not the way debate works. Admitting you're wrong is saying, hey, I'm open to change and be better. Now, when people say be better as an insult, okay, there are words that people use and they use them as weapons. I'm admitting that 100%. But again, who cares? Now, here's the problem: is when someone says that to you and they're a family or friend, family member or a friend, that hurts, and I get it. But I've just over time, I'm just like, look, we can sit here and we can have this conversation. It's kind of like, like if you, okay, here's an example. Has this ever happened to you? You step in, oh, hi, everybody. Hey, it's Thanksgiving. And then they're like, oh, hey, anyway, so insert political statement here, either side. And the first thing I think is, oh, we're going to fight today. The first thing I say when I walk into a room and stuff like that's going on, I say #no politics. I'm 100% being honest and truthful with you. I won't do it. I will leave because I am so tired of fighting. I am so tired of it. I'm too old. I've been through too much. I'm not doing it. So you can make your little, there are certain, I will say, there are certain family members that will make their little snide comment and that'll be it. And I'll go and I'll nod and then change the subject. I don't like doing that stuff. But again, who cares? There are so many people that look at it, like I said, it is a personal attack. It's a personal admit of fault. If they admit that they're wrong, they won't do it. So why argue? Quit being a bottle of e-liquid. There's nothing that this thing can do other than be a bottle of e-liquid. You're expecting a bottle of e-liquid to be something else. Why do that? It's not going to happen. So you're wasting your breath. Just like when you try to convince someone that such and such political party is, boy, just going down the tubes and bringing down America, whatever, you know? Why? Now, if someone asks you your opinion, you go, hey, I think they're all evil. And then you move on and everybody goes, well, yeah, that's usually what I do. But most people have learned not to ask me those questions. And I'm fine with that. I'd rather talk about a movie. I'd rather talk about, what are you guys up to? You know, what's good in your life? What's a challenge? Who cares about what side of the fence you're on about such and such subject? I mean, look, I get it. Sometimes that's what people talk about and that's fine. But me, I'm done with those conversations. That's why I don't like talking about it. And I don't like alienating people anymore. I just don't. I mean, unless you think that, the Nazis should come back. If you like the Nazis, you can just go away and hit unsubscribe. I'm fine with that. Other than that, I mean, I don't really know of a reason why you should leave. We can all respect each other. But anyway, that's how I look at things. My lords are, I can't remember how to say that. Quetzalcoatl, and I don't know. Ricky, I think you're kidding. Wonder Man is another one of those. I think this is all leading to a Doomsday cameo. I mean, maybe. I mean, dude, who knows? From what I've heard, and again, I will admit, not enough, or not that much. I haven't heard apparently, according to John Campea, man, my freaking lip, and Robert Meyer Burnett, they were given access to either someone that has read the script and they basically got the whole script basically relayed to them, or they were able to read a copy of the script. So they know everything that's going to happen in Doomsday. Everything, apparently. One of the things was that there was a few months ago, there was a pretty big rumor that happened, and Campea set out and went, nope, that's not real. That's not real. And then a week later, 2 weeks later, another one came out and he was like, okay, here's my question, guys. There have been rumors that have been circulating and a lot of them are wrong, but there's one that's right. Should I talk about it? So that's one of those weird things. So what was my point? I don't even know what my point was. Is it something up here? Oh, the Doomsday thing. Yeah. So he basically said that, and he said, I'm not going to tell you where it is or anything like that, but I saw someone leak basically all of the story points of Doomsday. So it's out there, apparently. It's just who knows? But as far as I'm concerned, I'm one of those people that, especially like hearing that, ooh, is somebody going to be in it? I don't really okay. It's just like, I've told the story before. I'll just say there was a death in a novel that I was really excited for. Heard the death and was really kind of bummed out. But then I read the book and found out it didn't matter. It wasn't what happened, it was how. It was how it happened, which was the most important thing. So, I don't know. All I can say, dude, is Wonder Man is awesome. I really, really enjoyed it, and it's not going to be for everybody. And if you watch the first episode and you're not dying to watch the next one, move on. It's no big deal. But I really enjoyed it. Seventh said, I had to work on ego too. I was in the gifted program, so I constantly was surrounded by people telling me what a genius I was. I'm going to have trouble making friends because I'm on another level. Well, yeah. That was me too. But I think I've told this story really quick, briefly. I was in 3rd or 4th grade. They wanted to put me in high school. And my parents told them no. They were like, he has Obviously not good at the English language. He has a grasp on mathematics that is basically high school level. We think that he could be whatever. And my parents said, no, we don't want him to be socially awkward. Great job, mom and dad. You really succeeded there because I am pretty socially awkward. Sometimes I hide it really well, but I really am. So anyway, yeah. So I understand that, and it went to my head. The ego was out of control, and it probably it affected the way that I made friends, and it affected it affected a lot of things. But it also made me so bored in pretty much everything I did that so many other things were suffering, and it was not a thing that I like. In a way, I kind of wish that they had done that so that I would have been working. I would have actually, my brain would have been constantly moving forward, but I wouldn't be the person I am today without that. So now it's kind of like, yeah, I'm just an idiot now, which is fine. That's fine. Everybody caught up to me, so I'm all good. And now I really don't. I'm good at math. Look. I'm just gonna say, I'm good at math, like really good at it, really good. I don't like it though, so I don't worry about it. Anyway, I find Marvel more interesting if the story is well written and when all these stories are woven together. Well, it's all about character. And I've realized that a lot of times it doesn't matter what the setting is. It doesn't matter what language they're speaking. It doesn't matter whether they're male, female, or other, or neither. Honestly, any character can be interesting if you've got a good actor and you've got a good script. Anything. And so I have refused to not watch something because of any reason. Now, I mean, there are definitely going to be things that are going to appeal to me more than others for sure, but I don't do that. I don't do that. So it's just the way I look at it. And to me, these are two characters that are vastly interesting and played by two killer actors. Like I will be, there's nothing I can do about it, but I would be angry if Yahya Abdul-Mateen II never won an Oscar. That dude is awesome. He is so good. Ben Kingsley's won at least one. But yeah, they're both top tier actors, and that's why I loved it. 3 movies that Jim Carrey are underrated in. I will say that he's underrated in Dumb and Dumber, not for his comedic ability, but for his dramatic ability. Some of his dramatic stuff in that movie makes me tear up. And I think that's underrated. Of course, he's underrated in The Majestic. He's underrated in Number 23. He's probably just fine on Man on the Moon. I think his ego took over a little bit there. But yeah, I mean, the dude is a fantastic actor. And some of to me, I've said this before, but I think some of the best dramatic actors end up being comedians. It's just the way it is. 3 most rewatchable shows for you. Lately, nothing. I don't rewatch anything. Movies, TV, nothing. But as far as I'm concerned, especially now, like where I am right now, Star Trek. Any of the Star Trek original series or Star Trek Next Generation. I can guarantee you that I will watch those and enjoy watching it again. There you go. Loved Wonder Man. Total tonal shift. An actor who happens to be a metahuman. It's genius compared to everything else post Endgame. 7th. I agree with you. Of course I agree with you. You probably listened to me talk about it for the last couple minutes. So yeah. I find someone who doesn't I find someone who doesn't ever apologize even more for simple things, the biggest red flag. Oh, I find someone who doesn't ever apologize, even for simple things, the biggest red flag. Sure. I'm sorry I got that wrong. But no, yes. Yep. Taking responsibility is a big thing. It's a big thing. It takes a big man to admit when you're wrong. It takes a big man to admit that you may not have done everything right. But some people learn and some people don't. But that's all right. So many people double down based on their own assumptions. I mean, that's true too. The thing is, I mean, so much of the planet right now are just, they're so stuck in their own, this is what it's so frustrating. Best 3 creature features, and is Godzilla considered that? I love Godzilla. Anyone? I'll tell you this, Movie High Club, I'm not a big creature feature guy. Billy was your guy. I mean, if we're basing it on that, and Godzilla, any of the kaiju are included in that, I mean, I'd have to say probably Gremlins, Godzilla, King Kong. I don't know. Wild Wild West, Rough Rider. No, you don't want nada. Same goes to know-it-all type of people who have an answer opinion for everything. It blows. It's the one-upper too, right? It's the you're in a group conversation and the guy goes, "Oh, that's nothing. Hey, what happened to me?" Or people that ask you a question just so they can tell you their version. What's your favorite movie? Well, I really like. Well, my favorite movie is blah blah blah. Like, why didn't you just start off by saying, "Hey, my favorite movie is this. Blah 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 blah. I really like it. What about you? What's yours?" That's a better way to do it every time. Every time. If that's what you want to talk about and nobody's got anything else to say and that's what you come up with, hey, it's a great conversation starter. But don't ask somebody and then, that's just the way I look at it. Because it's obvious. I don't know. It blows my mind that some people just can't say I'm not informed enough or simply I don't know. Or only take the base level, the headline as truth. Vaping is an epidemic. I won't go into that. I should learn more politics, to be honest. I mean, maybe. I'm the opposite. I sometimes apologize as if I was wrong just to keep the peace, even though I'm never actually wrong and never been wrong in my entire life. Well, there you go. See, this is what happens. See, I go off on a tangent and then everybody says things to respond to what I said, and then I can't move on. Okay, wait. Rapid fire. One of the best things I learned to work, and I apologize, misunderstood, misheard, even when I know I didn't. Filbert, that's wise. And Ito Ramos, did I say hi to you? Hello, sir. Good to see you. Sorry I haven't said hi earlier, but I'm an idiot. So much better to just move on and not focus on arguments. Exactly. I don't want actual leaks. I want to watch it fresh. Chris, you and me both. I do not know. I don't like people that, it's okay. I can understand it when some people are like, give me all the spoilers. I want spoilers all the time. Spoilers. Okay, but that's not me. I want to watch it fresh. And I don't even want to watch a review before I've done mine, because I don't want to inadvertently take their opinions as my own. So that's how I look. That's how I go. Ninjinzu got jumped at Walmart. I'm just going to say that. And 7th, you were right. Yes. I mean, who knows? Who knows these days? I love speculation. See, and that's the problem, Chris. I used to love speculation. I don't anymore, because then I started to realize that I started to fall in love with an idea, whether it's my own or someone else's. And that's what I thought the movie was. And then when I didn't get that, I would get irritated and I wouldn't like the movie because of that. Or, yeah, that's usually what happened, is that I would get irritated and because it wasn't what I expected. And then I realized, why am I comparing this movie against something it will never be? So speculation is one of those things where I don't even like thinking about what's going to happen. Like Dune 3, I know the basic storyline because I watched all those Dune miniseries. I know the basic storyline. I'm just in for a good story. Avengers Doomsday, just give me a good story. Project Hail Mary, I knew the whole story. I'm just like, man, I just hope they really nail it. And boy, did they nail it. But yeah, that's how I am. But hey, more power to you. I heard people that got putting gifted programs during their schooling who told they were different and smart all their life, then struggle later. KB Senti, you may be onto something because I can't. I don't know. I did. There were a lot of things that I probably should be better at. I'll just say that. But I also, when I went to college, I didn't do the college curriculum. I took what I thought was important for a classic education. I wanted to take the ologies and the osophies. I I feel like okay, it's not bleeding. It feels weird. Sorry. Uh that may be right though. You may be right. Pretty sure I said never to do that in a Walmart. Yeah, don't do that in a Walmart. But I apologize nonetheless. Yes, KP Senti. No, it's not weird at all because that's what happens is that now your ego has become part of your personality. Because now you're special and other people are inferior. It's superiority complex. And what ends up happening is you base your life on the idea that you will always succeed. And when you fail hard. And then you take it personally because oh, I must be a bad person. There's a whole level of things that come along with that. That may be some personal stuff there that I'm telling you. But yeah. I got put into a class like that, and later on I dated a special needs teacher. She said special people get put in there. Ninjutsu. He said Walmart, not Walmart. Oh. You're a wise mother effer. I've always said that. Starfox. In Dumb and Dumber, he's...
It's the Scrubs dude.
That's from like...
Holy crap, what happened to her face? Get in a fight? Gonna have my burger.
Okay, so... Thanks, Streamlabs. You just replayed all the tips from earlier. Thanks again, Starfox. I was like, did you do that, Starfox? I hope you... Look, yeah, check your stuff. Check your stuff and make sure because as far as I can see... Okay, wait a minute. That's wild. Okay, I just refreshed it. It was basically like it was on there twice. Now when I refreshed it, it's only there once. So Streamlabs is doing some weird freaking stuff. But thank you again, Stop Fox. In Dumb and Dumber, he's sick and tired of being a nobody, but he's sick and tired of having nobody. I mean, that's just one line in the movie, but I think there's other times when it's just like, ugh. That scene where Lloyd is so heartbroken he dry heaves. I don't know. That one's a little tougher because it is sad and then it's immediately funny. Didn't you say you rewatched a movie like 5 times the past week? I saw Project Hail Mary twice. And the only reason that I'd purchased 2 tickets is because for a while there I couldn't find any tickets for the early screening. And then suddenly I got an email that said, "Hey, you're eligible to buy a ticket for this early screening. Do you want to go?" Click the thing. Holy crap, it's right here. Oh my God, yes I do. So that was the thing. And then we just didn't get a refund because we enjoyed the movie so much we decided to go again. And it was me and my wife hanging out. So yeah, calm down. Targeted instruction, meeting the specific needs of students who learn faster and need higher complexity than a standard classroom provides. Preventing boredom, providing academic stimulation. Yes. Pull over! No, it's a cardigan, but thanks for noticing. To avoid the busy work often given in mixed ability classrooms. Yeah. Classrooms. Best 3 DiCaprio movies. Oh my God.
This is Streamlabs. 7th didn't real key send you money, I'm just hefking with you. Smooch.
Dude, 7th, man, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Like a little early birthday gift. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And just to remind everybody, while we're here, okay, next week, there will be a stream. As far as I know, there will be a stream, regular stream. The Hangout might be truncated, though. There may not be a Hangout at all. It depends on what my wife wants to do, because we're supposed to go to a late night screening, 12:01, of Super Mario Brothers Galaxy next Tuesday night. Comes out on Wednesday, 12:01 a.m. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, screening of Mario. So just to let you know, that's the day after. And then the stream will be normal. No weird birthday stuff. My birthday will be done and gone by then. So yeah. So no birthday stream or anything like that. But thank you guys so much. And 7th, I look at that as a birthday gift. I appreciate that. Thank you. To avoid the busy work often given in, I already said that. Best 3 DiCaprio movies. That's where I was. Ramen April sitting in the tree. I have 2 chats right now because of when everything got messed up. Okay, I'm gonna say the best. Okay, 3 DiCaprio movies though. Best movies. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Inception. Maybe Django. I'll tell you this, Inception is definitely the one that I watched the most. I mean, there's no question. No question. Okay. But I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood may be the best of both worlds, where it's one of my favorite movies, but it's also a great Leo performance. But Django, man, holy crap. He's really good in Django. The Departed, maybe. I want to see The Aviator again, but it's not even on Blu-ray, is it? I want to watch The Aviator again. Make The Aviator on 4K, please. But there you go. That's plenty. I would say probably his best performance. The performance, I mean, yes, he won for The Revenant, which is fine. He was up for One Battle After Another. Great performance. Not my favorite of his, but great performance. Great movie. But the movie that I think that he should have won best supporting actor for is way back, What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He should have won for that movie. You didn't ask for best performance. You asked for best movies. But to me, that is the all-time best one of the best performances I've seen in a movie, period. Right up there with Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be Blood. So, there you go. Always quick to accept blame for my mistakes, but as I get older, I look at my biggest mistakes and wonder if they were really were mistakes. I mean, that's just learning. I learned early on to let people talk. Yeah. Exactly. It all led to where you are. Exactly. Best studios that have great releases for movies is in a nice look, good features, whatever you consider makes it nice. Warner Brothers is always been my favorite studio for years and years and years. After that is probably I'll say 20th Century, and then maybe Paramount. Um, Disney has always been a little too. I don't know, man. Disney's pretty dang good, and even when they've screwed, everybody screwed up, right? But Warner Brothers has always been my favorite. Uh, Universal always has had some good movies and some bad movies. And now that you kind of consider Universal Sony, and then there's, oh God, man, there's too many. I'll just say that the clear number one is Warner. Then you've got the rest of them kind of fighting it out for 2 and 3. But 20th Century is great, or whatever it is now. I guess 20th Century Studios has always been a great one. Yeah, there you go. Remember when people used to say, I don't know? I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. It's true. In 94, someone sent me the script for Star Trek Generation 6 months before it came out. Ruined the experience when I finally saw it. Never again. Well, that's the thing, though. If you get the full script, I don't see that being entertaining. See how are they gonna do it? No. I'd rather know nothing. I wish that you could opt out of seeing trailers in theaters. Like really opt out, not just try to get there late, but like really opt out. Have something in your brain that goes, don't show them that. So I don't see any trailers. Oh, it's like Avengers Doomsday. I'm already going to watch it. Don't have to show me a trailer. I don't want to see anything. Do you want it? No, I don't. But like Inception, there's no way I would have known that Inception was going to be one of my favorite movies I've ever seen without seeing the trailer. So that's one of those where it's like, okay, that's fine. Let everything else through, but anything like, God, it feels so weird. Sometimes it feels like I'm bleeding. Anyway, but Doomsday, yeah, don't need to see either one of those. I skipped college since it's a scam. Well, I mean, Dune video game never released many, many years now. That's true. That was so weird. Yeah, check your statement though. I hope everything's okay there. Screenlab's taking a dump. What even is time anyway? Right. But you said you don't rewatch things, but okay. Again, this was a special case. And it was a thing where it was like, yeah, we could have gotten, I'll tell you this. If we had gotten a screening that was like 30, 45 minutes away, we would have totally just gotten a refund. But it was literally our local theater. And it was like, screw it. Let's just go watch it again. So we did. And it was fun. So. Late night screening, how romantic, of a Mario movie? I don't know. Okay, we gotta move it because I gotta get through these movies. First comes trailers, then comes movie, then Rob goes sitting on the toilet pooping. I mean, that's pretty much, yeah. Catch Me If You Can was dope. Yeah, but that's me. Like, I own that movie. I love that movie. But that's not like I want to super rewatch that movie. You know what I mean? Aviator, I barely know her. Since this is a religious stream now, I saw the CG movie David the other day. It was better than I was expecting. Very well done. Not to the level of Prince of Egypt, but a fun time. That was, I mean, I know of it, but not my thing. Speaking of religion, do any of you see Age of Disclosure? The Weinstein Company? Touchstone Pictures was the shit back in the 80s. Well, yeah. Yeah. My favorite Nolan is Prestige. Least favorite is Tenet. Well, I mean, I get that too. All right. Okay, here we go. Movies. First up, I watched all of these. I had never gone through these. So again, these were from Billy. Billy didn't gift these to me. Regina gifted these to me because this is what we were watching the day before he went to the hospital. Fistful of Dollars. Went through all three. I will show you. Well, here, let me show you this. This is out, and this is a new set that's coming out. This is from Diabolic, $69.99, and you basically get the only thing you really don't get are the individual. It looks like you don't get the individual booklets for each movie. You may have get like a selection there, but all of the disc content is the same. Now, I'm going to open up the good, the bad, and the ugly here. Okay. So, with the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay, right? You have this cover. You also have the original artwork, which I kind of, yeah, that's, I should have changed that out and I didn't. So, oops. What's going on? Ah, that's not right. That's not straight. You gotta have it straight, you know? Why is that happening? So, right? Beautiful. Because the booklet has that artwork. So, I have all three. This is newer artwork. This is the old original poster artwork. And then this is another take on that artwork. Okay? Also comes with a poster with the original poster art and this artwork here. You get the booklet. Right? Awesome. And you get 4 discs. International cut with 2 commentaries. Extended cut with 2 commentaries. Or no, wait. I think the first movie... Yeah, the international cut has 1 commentary. This has 2 commentaries. Thing of extras. And then this one. Sad Hill Unearthed. Now what this is if you know the movie, the graveyard scene. Pretty famous scene. These people went out and basically restored the cemetery. This was awesome. This is not included in the single volume edition of The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. It's not there. It only comes with the first 3 discs. This includes the Sad Hill Unearthed. So if you want all the discs, this is the way to go. Because otherwise, to buy this set, these 3, they're going for like $300 to $500 on eBay. These versions. Now, again, I think, in my opinion, this is an absolute bargain to buy this. $70, you get all 3 movies and all the disc content is there. I say go for it. And if you look, you can't really... Oh yeah, you can. Let me see if I can... There you go. See that image? It's that image. But you have it in a singular box set. I'll be honest with you. If this came out first, I would have just bought that. Because it's cool. I like it. But there you go. So the Dollars trilogy, watched, amazing. Now, I'll tell you this. My favorite movie is actually for a few dollars more. To me, this is a traditional Western, and it's done really, really well. And honestly, part of it is because Lee Van Cleef. Well, I shouldn't say that. Lee Van Cleef is awesome in this. And I think he has the most to do in this one. And he's awesome. It's great. Second would be The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. This was less of a Western and more of a Civil War, anti-war movie. And A Fistful of Dollars is still good. But that's just me. I think for a few dollars more is the best one. My opinion, and I'm sticking to it. I love it so much. Oops. Let's see. Wait. Mm, mm. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. These are super, super good inclusions. Never seen it. Yeah. These are amazing movies. Um, if you're a fan of westerns, you kind of have. I mean, seriously, you kind of have to own this. Should I wait for a USA version? Oh, that's a great point. Here's the thing. These are available in the US from Kino Lorber. The problem is the Kino Lorber versions don't have the fixed audio. They're from the same 4K. Um, they're from the same scan, but they're slightly different. Some of them are framed. The Kino Lorber is framed a little. I don't know what you call that. Thinner. There's stuff cut off, and everybody, like all the people that talk about all the versions of all these movies, they say that this has the best audio and the best color grading, the most accurate color grading. Why do they do that? Because the US has rights and the UK has rights. Now, here's the funny thing. Arrow is in the UK, but they also have a US arm. The problem is Kino Lorber is really the only US distributor that's allowed to release The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So, you can import this via Diabolic. It's pretty much the same price as it would be if they'd sold it in the US, and I say do it. Just do it. It's awesome. Now here's the rub. This is very important, okay? If you don't have a region-free player, the Blu-rays will not work. Except for Sad Hill Unearthed. That one is a region-free disc. I don't know why they did it that way. But all of those, for each movie, all of the bonus discs did not, of course, they're region B locked, which is the UK. Now here's the thing. If you have a Panasonic UB820, for the most part, with Arrow releases, all you have to do is hit, when it comes up with the little thing that says, this is unable to be played in your region, or whatever it says, you can hit stop, and then you can hit top menu, and it'll play. It'll just play like normal. These don't work that way. Okay? What you have to do is you have to enter in a chapter. So you hit, like, for example, on Fistful of Dollars, I looked it up and they said, hey, this doesn't work when you hit top menu. What do? They type in 13, you watch that, and you let it, it was like one of the shortest features on the disc. Let it play to the end, and then the menu will work. With The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the menu still would not work. So you had to basically punch in like title 2, title 3, like title 2, enter, watch it. It would go back to the menu and it would just say special features. You couldn't click on it, nothing would work. So then you stop again. 3, enter, and it'll play. So that's the only, you're basically having to access it. It's a bummer. It's a bummer that it works that way. So just keep that in mind if you buy these and you live in, in the US. There's a little bit of finagling, okay? Didn't know you can go hacker to play some movie. Well, it's not really hacking, but it's just a little weird for these. Again, I have so many other region Blu-rays, and my Panasonic, without fail, I can just hit stop where it just says 4K Ultra disc, Ultra HD disc, and I can literally just hit top menu and then the disc will play normally. It just works. Like almost every time. These are the only ones that I've ever found that do that. So just keep that in mind. Or I can just watch it on PS5 Pro. Maybe it may not work at all on the PS5 Pro. I don't know. It's going to be weird. But as far as I'm concerned, these are the best versions of the movies, and I've done a lot of research on that. There's Kino Lorber for the US, Arrow for the UK. Of course, you can still get these from Diabolic or Orbit. I think Orbit has them too, if you're an Orbit DVD fan. All right. So again, you have 13 hours basically left on the Criterion sale. It just so happens that I've been watching Criterion movies along with all these. So the first one is a not Style Fox, a Max Sterling special. This one is one that he recommended that I watch. My Man Godfrey. It's got my man William Powell in it. And I got to say, this was great. I really, really enjoyed this one. Watched all the special features. I'm not a big newsreel fan, so I don't watch newsreels, and I don't listen to radio versions of the same movie. I'm just not into that. But other than that, I watched everything on this disc. It was great. This is absolutely worth your money if you're a fan of, what 1936, comedies. Great movie. Great movie. Great movie. Okay, wait a minute. You have the original soundtrack CD for it. Sad Hill with like 5,000 graves. Yes. And for a few dollars more is your favorite. Yes. Choom 89. Welcome. Yeah. I'm not sure why Kino framed it differently, but I saw like side by side views on it. There's actually there's a guy named the Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader who actually helped out with some of these releases from Arrow because he provided them. I'm guessing he provided them his Laserdisc, which has an uncompressed mono version of some of these, and they didn't have it. Anyway, he's a stickler for this kind of stuff, and he has given these his highest recommendation. And I mean, I think many different physical media people this last year have said that 2025, these were the best releases of the year. So if you can get it for $69.99, you should totally do it. And Stop Fox himself has it pre-ordered. Didn't know you can. Yeah. That's dumb. Not my dumbass thinking Blu-ray is region free. At least I have 3 Blu-ray disc drives for my PC. Well, 4K though. Here's the thing. If you buy these KP Senti and you don't have a 4K player, you will not be able to watch this. There's a separate Blu-ray release because in a lot of cases, like for example, this next one that I'm about to show you, they will give you the 4K and the Blu-ray and sometimes a digital code, right? With Arrow, it's not that way. You get 4K. You have 2 discs that have the 4K. Well, in this case, like for a few dollars more, it has 2 discs. Come on. There you go. Disc 1 is the feature on 4K. Disc 2 is the Blu-ray. So that's it. So you're going to have to be careful with that. With some of these releases are 4K. But I mean, most of these, like, especially like the Criterion movies, all of these are also available on just Blu-ray. So that's a thing. Been so pleased with my Panasonic UB9000. Also used an Oppo 205 for the longest time as well. Still using my CRT actually. Oh, I see what you're saying. To play a movie. Yeah, SMPK, it's mostly about the special features. It's not about the movies themselves. The movies themselves play exactly like they should. PS5 Pro even plays the Malaysia version of Dolph Lundgren's Punisher DVD with no issues. If you have to find a region, it won't play. What is a newsreel type of movie? Well, a newsreel it's not a movie. It's kind of like back in the old days, before TV, a lot of news, they would basically make kind of like, so you know how like you get like a 10 to 15 minute video about whatever? What they would do is they would do a 10 to 15 minute movie, basically, that was basically news footage. And so people would get their news by watching newsreels because going to movies used to be cheap, like a nickel for going to see a movie. So you could pay a nickel, go sit down, watch a movie. You'd get newsreel, you'd get trailer, well, mostly newsreels, cartoons, and then they call them trailers because they used to trail the movie. This is what you used to watch after the movie was over. So yeah, it's just something which is kind of cool because it shows you, especially like on here, it's cool, especially if you want to know like what was happening around the time that My Man Godfrey was released in 1936. You know, but it was a way for people to get news. I mean, of course there was radio, but yeah, it's just it's a cool thing, but it's not something I seek out. And when I see it, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but meh. Mine can rip 4K discs. I don't have a player though. Okay, well, yeah, 69 exactly. So you watched a bunch of movies. That's just news. Well, I mean, kind of. It's different though. They call them newsreels because they were all about current events and whatever. Like people would you could hear the news. Oh my gosh, there was a major win on the offensive and the front lines in Poland. Or you could go to the movie and see the actual footage of this happening instead of just hearing the news on the radio. They didn't have TV. So the next movie is Sorcerer by William Friedkin. Now, here's the thing. I saw this movie last year or the year before. But it's one of these movies where it doesn't it's kind of weirdly slow. But it does come with a 4K, the Blu-ray, and the another Blu-ray of special features. It does come with a little booklet, but it's more of a whatever. But this movie is big news because, well, first of all, William Friedkin, the director of The Exorcist and The French Connection, this was the movie that basically kind of broke him. This and along with Cruising in 1980 were kind of like the movies that kind of broke his streak because he was basically on cloud nine. He could do no wrong. The studios would say whatever he wanted, do you do it? Because he made two of the best movies of the 70s. But this movie had the unfortunate kind of problem. It released about 3 weeks after a little movie called Star Wars. And part of the issue is that this is a very serious movie. It's a very dark movie. It's violent. It's hallucinogenic at one point. It's very 2001. He kind of has this moment where it's like all of a sudden he's hallucinating. It's a good movie, but it also showed that audiences were done with the super seriousness of the 70s. And they wanted lighter fare. They wanted escapist entertainment, not something that's going to make you feel bad for 2 hours. Because this movie's dark and whatever, but it's William Friedkin, and the I should have left this out. This is not a movie about a sorcerer. It's literally the name of the truck. And all of this movie, if you can see that right there, that is shot for real. There's no CG, there's no effects. That is literally, they put a truck on a rope bridge. And the whole idea is, this movie is you've got 4 characters that are desperate to get out of this town. And they find that, hey, you can make a lot of money and leave this town basically if you can get in this truck and transport this nitroglycerin 200 miles away. They're desperate. They get in it and they have to go through all kinds of situations where nitroglycerin, the vibrations. This is this is a suspenseful movie. But I'm going to say that if you're a fan of William Friedkin and you don't like this movie, you still need to buy this. Buy it on Blu-ray or whatever, buy it as cheap as you can because of the special features. The special features are absolutely fantastic. Friedkin Uncut, it's kind of in the center there. 2018, a documentary by Francesco Zippel featuring interviews with Friedkin, screenwriter Waylon Green, filmmakers Wes Anderson, Francis Ford Coppola, and others. And then a new conversation with between filmmakers James Gray and film critic Sean Fennessy. Conversation from 2015 between Friedkin and filmmaker Nicholas Winding Refn. You might have seen a clip of this where Refn, he's the director of Drive, and he's basically sitting there kind of saying that Drive is like one of the best movies of all time, and Friedkin starts to give him crap. It's an amazing conversation, and it's all about Sorcerer, pretty much. It's about an hour and 10 minutes of them just basically riffing on themselves and each other. And Friedkin is such a character. I loved the special feature. I mean, the movie's good. I like the movie. But man, those special features are amazing. So this is not a movie for everybody. It's deep, it's dark, it's Roy Scheider, and then a bunch of, international actors. There's a reason why this movie tanked at the box office. There was a lot of reasons. But this was such a depressing but awesome movie that I'm so glad I have it, but I'm so glad I have it really because of the special features. Now, this is based on a book called The Wages of Fear. Now, there was a movie version of Wages of Fear that came out in the 50s, I believe. Well, let's check. Guys, that's what I got today from Amazon. I got the Wages of Fear. 1953. So, these movies are the same story based on the original book. A lot of people, when this movie came out, they thought, so wait a minute, it's just a remake of Wages of Fear, this movie? And he's like, no, I went straight back to the book and adapted the book. So I got this today because I want to see what the original movie's like. And again, I got a deal on this from Amazon. I got it for $22. So there you go. And this has all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff on it. But this isn't, again, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be for everybody, but it's for me. So there you go. Do you think in a century people would press commercials and like CNN News on a Blu-ray with the TV show in between? I mean, you never know. Like, how many times have you come across, hey, 80s cartoon commercials? It's possible. Carbonite, welcome Carbonite. Good to see you. Just been chilling. I want a suckle of my Zipple. Vinny C, what's going on? And sorry, we're running a little late because I still have 3 movies to get through. There's certain elements of Sorcerer that make me think of it as a good double feature with Borman's Ninth Configuration, but that might just be me. I do not know that one. But again, for me, it's because I went on a Friedkin kick. I was watching everything Friedkin I can. So now I own, of course, Sorcerer. I have French Connection on Blu-ray. I have, why did I just go blank? Oh, The Exorcist in 4K. Sorcerer in 4K. To Live and Die in LA in 4K. And I think that's all I own. A lot of his later stuff, the more typical stuff like Hunted and stuff like that. Didn't he do Nick Nolte basketball movie Blue Chips, I think? Don't care. Oh, I do also own his version of 12 Angry Men, which is actually really good. Even though I think Jack Lemmon is way too old to be playing that character, I still liked it. But anyway, I went on a freaking kick and bought Sorcerer and was very excited for them. The next movie is probably, of the movies that I watched in the last week, this is probably my least favorite. And it's just because, man, this movie was freaking weird. Okay. From 1980, Altered States. Now, this is a movie where William Hurt is, let's see, part hallucinogenic freak out, part gonzo creature feature, part transcendent love story, all played at a fever pitch. When researcher Eddie Jessup, played by William Hurt, begins using himself as a test subject for his mind expanding psychological experiments, it sends him on an increasingly dangerous, substance fueled odyssey from humankind's primordial past to the outer limits of consciousness. It's all visualized by Russell in a psychedelic supernova of out there imagery that encompasses everything from the pagan to the cosmic sublime, culminating in a brainwave blasting battle between the mind and the heart. But yeah, this is a movie that I was always curious about, and it's because I would see like still frames from it in a like, I think still frames of the poster. But I was really interested in it. Just because I wanted to know what the hell it was. And it looked like, and it was something that my parents wouldn't, of course, let me watch because it was rated R. I see why. This movie's freaking weird, dude. I mean, this is one of, oops, that was my receipt. That's one of the images from the movie, and it's just like, what is going on here? But you also have Blair Brown. She played, I can't remember her name in the show, but she was the president or the CEO or whatever of Massive Dynamic and Fringe. Blair Brown. Yeah, she's like 27 or something in this, and I'm just gonna say she spends a lot of time with her clothes off in this movie. But then also Bob Balaban, who's one of my favorite. Hey, it's that guy. He of course is the translator in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He's great in this. He's solid. Just like he's in all the Wes Anderson films, and sometimes it's a blink and you miss it kind of thing with Bob Balaban in the Wes Anderson movies. But this is one of those movies that I can't like this is one where even though I kind of wish I'd like streamed it first or rented it first. I probably wouldn't have bought it otherwise. I can still appreciate the effects in 1980. Some of the stuff is nuts, and it just, you're like, I cannot believe you guys spent the time to make this movie. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's interesting. And I got on a William Hurt kick because, of course, you know, he passed away last year. So this was always on my list, and when I heard it was coming in 4K, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. Yeah. And then we get to the David Lynch part of the show. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you of anything, okay? But I have basically turned into a fan of David Lynch ever since watching Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks unlocked. I still say that if you're somebody who is interested in David Lynch, Twin Peaks is the place to start, because it slowly lets you into the world. And then as things get weird, you're like, oh, okay, this is really, really weird. And if you get turned off by Twin Peaks, no need to go any further. You know, that's how I look at it. I recently purchased Lost Highway. I purchased, what else did I get? Of course, I have the Dune. I still want to rewatch Dune 1984 version. I still don't think I'm going to like it because it's Dino De Laurentiis, but I finally watched Blue Velvet. This is 1986, 2 years after Dune. I gotta say, this movie is one of those where I'm like, okay, I kind of get why he went down this road. There's a lot of like early ideas that I think were taken and put into some Twin Peaks stuff. So it's interesting watching this. It's fine. it's not my favorite David Lynch film. Kyle MacLachlan and Isabella Rossellini, and of course Dennis Hopper in an unhinged performance. Like, I like this movie better when it was Lost Highway. And of course Lost Highway came in, what, 11 years later or whatever, however long. But to me, they're very similar movies, and I just prefer Lost Highway. I think Lost Highway was pretty awesome, pretty twisted. But dude, the special features are banging. So much great stuff. All the deleted scenes, all the making ofs, the interviews and all that stuff. Awesome. I wish there was a commentary. I don't think, did David Lynch ever do commentaries? I don't know if he did, but I just love listening to him, and it's worth it for that. But the big test was, I think this was the second David Lynch thing I'd ever seen, and I walked out of the movie. Yes, I walked out of the movie going, yeah, this guy's not for me. I don't like this David Lynch dude. But it'd been 25 years, and I kind of wanted to try it again. Mulholland Drive. Dude. I get it now. Here's the weird thing. Okay, so the first hour and a half or so, there's no way to know exactly where. But in the first hour and a half, this is the pilot for basically a sequel to Twin Peaks, or another Twin Peaks-ish kind of show. He put together a pilot. All the actors are in it. I mean, dude, Robert Forster's in like the first 5 minutes in it, and then he's never there again. It's so odd. And it's like, oh yeah, probably because they were planning for him to have a role as the police chief, and he would blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, he's in it for 5 minutes, and that's it. But anyway, ABC basically told him they didn't like it, and he sat on it. They basically sat on it for a long time. They say a year and a half. And then they get this French company, I think it's Studio Canal, to basically front the money to make this into a feature. And at the time, when he finally gets the news, he's like, I don't know what to do. And he figures it out. And it turns into what it turns into. And it's a fascinating journey watching that. I will admit freely that there are multiple videos on the internet, on YouTube, basically trying to explain Mulholland Drive. I got to one that basically said, this is probably the most famous theory of Mulholland Drive, and it's this, blah, 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 blah. And I go, yeah, that's pretty much what I thought. And he goes, but that's only scratching the surface. And I'm like, what? And then he went through the video, and I went, oh, I didn't notice that. Oh my God. Holy crap. So this movie, just from a YouTube video, made me go from, yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. And yeah, it's David Lynch, and I'm really kind of a fan of David Lynch now, to, oh my God, this movie might be the most genius movie. So basically, okay. Blonde Betty Elms, played by Naomi Watts. Basically, Naomi Watts became a star because of this movie. Her performance is, I mean, just amazing. Like, it's amazing. I didn't recognize that back in 2001. Anyway, blonde Betty Elms has only just arrived in Hollywood to become a movie star when she meets an enigmatic brunette with amnesia, played by Laura Herring. Meanwhile, as the two set off to solve the second woman's identity, filmmaker Adam Kesher, Justin Theroux, which is, I don't know if it's one of his first roles, but holy crap. I'm like, okay, if you became a star because of this, I get it, because he's got a lot of he's interesting. Filmmaker Adam Kesher runs into ominous trouble while casting his latest project. David Lynch's seductive and scary vision of Los Angeles' Dream Factory is one of the true masterpieces of the new millennium, a tale of love, jealousy, and revenge like no other. Um, this has got a ton of stuff on the Blu-ray. Um, Interviews from 2015 with Lynch Deming, Paul Deming, I think, his choreographer, actors name and watch Justin Theroux and Laura Herring, composer and Angelo Badalamenti, who, look, whatever you think of David Lynch, you got to give it to Angelo Badalamenti. Holy crap, that dude is great. Production designer Jack Fisk and casting director Johanna Ray. On-set footage, deleted scene, trailer, a deleted scene, by the way. Trailer, an interview with Lynch from the 2005 edition of filmmaker and writer Chris Rodley's book, Lynch on Lynch. Again, just the special features are kind of worth it, but this movie is one of those where you want to study it. You want to get into it. You want to freaking know more. But wow, I was kind of blown away the second time watching Mulholland Drive. So now, the question is, do I keep going on the journey? Because I've already seen Eraserhead, and Eraserhead is just weird. I haven't seen Wild at Heart yet, but that's not available on Criterion, and I don't know if it's available easily. The other movie is Inland Empire, which is available on Criterion, but I kind of hear that it's not great. So, Seventh, if you want to find that video, it's like an hour and 10 minutes, but it's really well done. And it's one of those where, at least for me, I look at that and I go, man, I wish I was good at making videos. Like it was a really well done video. So Pixel also agrees that Blue Velvet is a trip. Agreed. I liked it. Didn't love it. Yep. Your recent turnarounds on both Lynch and Trek are in my top 3 turnarounds. Look, man, I want to see if I can get that Lynch on Lynch. I also want to get from Criterion. I want to get, what is it called? The Art Life or something like that. I think it's a documentary on David Lynch. I kind of want to get that too. But he's amazing. He really was. Of all the people, like look, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I get it. Chuck Norris became a meme and he's funny and all that stuff. And some people grew up with his movies. That's great. I was never a big fan of Chuck Norris. Just never was. But and David Lynch, when he died, I'm like, look, I respect the guy. I never connected with the dude. Just never did. But my God, what a loss. That guy was insanely good. So there's some Lynch flicks I can get behind. Dune, Lost Highway, Mulholland, but I think overall I consider myself more of a Cronenberg guy. Yeah, Cronenberg is another one that I've never really connected with. But that's because I'm not a big fan of body horror. So I would for sure want to listen to a David Lynch commentary. Absolutely, Chris, right? One day you will also realize Rogue One is the best post-Lucas Star Wars. Never. Probably not. Probably not. I would listen to him talk about his coffee he had that morning. And he used to do that, you know? So you watched a review before watching? Oh no, KP Senti. No. I watched the movie, watched all the special features, and then I was like, there's got to be somebody that's gone really deep on Mulholland Drive, right? And sure enough, there was. In fact, there was a couple of videos that were over an hour. But this one had like 1.5 million views. And it was like, again, like 60, 70 minutes, something like that. And I was just sitting there the whole time going, oh, that makes sense. Oh, and it, you know, because sometimes, like, here's the thing with David Lynch, it's not about always making narrative sense. It's about the feeling. Now, here's the thing. When you think about David, like if you're a fan of David Lynch and you understand that whole thing about, sometimes it's not about the story being told, it's about the vibe. Totally get it. And I understand it now. It's something that I realized from watching Ridley Scott. Sometimes with Ridley Scott, it's not about how good or bad the movie is. It's about the vibe. And man, some Ridley Scott movies, bad Ridley Scott movies, are just a vibe. And I dig them. So I get it. I totally get it now. Agreed, top two types of turnarounds. Yeah, the Star Trek thing, man. I mean, here's the thing. I think it was always there and possible. I never took the time. Finally took the time. I watch reviews before watching or playing things all the time if I want to check it out. Well, okay. That Pokemon game. Never really played a Pokemon game, but watching Game Dave play the Pokemon game is like, oh, this is kind of, I kind of like this, but do I really want to play an old game? Look, I know this one guy named Beat 'em Ups did a review on this new Pokemon game. Maybe I should just watch his review and see. I watched this review and went, that looks kind of interesting. So I watched the first 30 minutes of gameplay and then went, okay, I think that is my kind of game. Screw it. So I bought it. That's just the way it worked. I thought Rob said that was bad to do. No. I'm saying for me, not for you. If you're not making content, there is no reason that you can't watch anything you want to watch. If you want to watch a review of a movie that you're about to walk into, you've already paid your money, but you just want to see if it's actually worth the time, do it. The only reason I don't do that is so that when I walk out, I come home, I'm thinking about the movie, I sit down to do a review, and I start talking in front of this camera. I want to say something that no one else has said. I don't want to use the exact same talking points as some other reviewer. And unfortunately, our brains are like sponges. And sometimes words come out, ways of phrasing things that you just regurgitate. And I don't want to do that. I want to come to my own conclusion. Now, if it's me and my wife talking about what we think about the movie, that's one thing. But she's not reviewing movies. And she doesn't have, 4 million subscribers. I want anybody that comes across a review of a movie that I just watched, I want them to go, okay, I haven't heard anybody else say that. But what pissed me off is that there was one movie that came out, I don't remember what it was. This probably happens a lot, where I said a thing, right? And I said it in a specific way. And then I want to say it was Chris Stuckman's review, and he said it exactly the same way. And yet his review came out like 5 days ago because he got to see an early, press screening of it. I just watched it, hadn't watched a single review, and yet I had the exact same conclusion he did and phrased it the exact same way. And I wondered if people were going to watch my review and go, that's the same thing Chris Stuckman said, like the exact same thing. Not everybody does that. But again, I want my opinion to be my own. You can watch all the reviews you want. But me, even when I wasn't doing a review or doing a YouTube video, I didn't want my view of the movie tainted by anyone else. Even my hero, Roger Ebert, back in the day when he was still alive. I quit reading his reviews because I had his review playing in almost like repeating in my head as I'm watching the movie. Because the thing is, why do you watch a review? As a consumer of products, you watch a review to see if you want to buy the thing. Right? The thing was, I was reading reviews for movies that I'd already planned on seeing. So it didn't make sense for me to watch anybody else's review until I watched the movie myself. And then typically what I do is I like reading a review or watching a review after I've seen the movie to see, did they say the same things that I think? Or do they say something completely different? Do they see it completely different than I do? That was fun for me. It was like having a conversation with somebody. It's different now because there's, I'm doing actual video reviews, and the best reviewers that do video reviews, I'm subscribed to. And I don't want to watch the reviews if I'm gonna watch the movie. And unfortunately, with Project Hail Mary, for example, they watched it like days before I did. Like days before the fan screenings that were a week and a half early. Or a week early. They saw it like 2 weeks early. And I'm like, okay, well, shit. Okay. So no matter when I got my tickets, I'm going to get beat to the punch. So anyway, I just signed up for the Criterion website. Whoops. I mean, with Lynch, it's often about what's going on in the periphery. Almost feels designed for multiple viewings, like a piece of shadow art that changes depending on your viewing angle. That's true too, but a lot of him is just vibes, which is great, you know? And it's like, I don't know. I just really appreciate the guy, and I like the guy. So it's a darn shame when great minds think alike. I mean, it's a shame when, you know, your opinion is being viewed by other people, and maybe, like, for example, I subscribe to all, at least to me, the best ones. My favorites that I watch, and again, there's probably other great ones that I just haven't heard of. Jeremy Johns, Chris Stuckman, Dan Morel. I really subscribe to Dan Morel for his box office breakdowns, but he reviews a lot of movies too, and I just like all three of those guys. And then I also watch the John Campea show and Robert Meyer Burnett. Mainly, it depends on what they're talking about too. With them, sometimes I will turn them off because it's like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear what you think of that, or I don't want to hear what you think of this situation, because again, I'm going to be doing a live show. What if I say the exact same thing they did? But if I hear something, or one of you guys brings up something that I didn't plan on talking about, yeah, I'll use what they said about it. And I'll tell you, yeah, I got it from the John Campea show. That's fine. But if it's an original idea, I want to have it. And I don't want to be tainted by anything else. So I'll watch a review to give engagement. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Criterion website is weird. I can't find any kids or teen movies. Their search is bad. There's not going to be a whole lot of kids or teen movies on there. The Criterion, here's the thing. Criterion collection is a collection of movies that are important to cinema and cinema history. And it could be something that's just, hey, this is a guidepost of today. For example, Honora, which was last year's Best Picture winner, available in the Criterion collection. Or a movie like House from the late 70s, a Japanese horror film that just was like, holy crap, okay, you can do that in a movie. Wow. Or, you know, Citizen Kane, a movie that, oh my God, is so ahead of its time, from 1941. There's not going to be a whole lot of kids' movies. So, just saying. I thought they were all about good movies. Yeah, but also you have to understand the Criterion collection leases those movies from the other studios. And if the other studios think that they can make more money releasing their own version of it, they won't license their movies out to Criterion. So I'm sure that, I don't know, 101 Dalmatians. I mean, it's just the first thing for some reason, that was the first movie I thought of. 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, it was a trendsetter at the time. It was important for animation and whatever time it came out, blah, 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 blah. Right. But Disney's not going to want Criterion to make the money on the 4K release of 101 Dalmatians. They want to do that. So they'll release it eventually, maybe. You know what I mean? So they won't license their most popular stuff unless it's a big deal. Like, for example, Warner Brothers didn't just release One Battle After Another. It just won Best Picture. They're not going to license that out today. But in 20 years, they might say, you know what? I mean, let's just say in 20 years, people are still buying physical media. Okay. But in 20 years, Warner Brothers might say, you know what? I think Criterion could do a great release of One Battle After Another. And so they might reach out to them and say, hey, do you want to buy this or license this? And Criterion will be like, oh my God, yeah. And we can go back and get Leonardo, like we can do interviews with Leonardo DiCaprio, 20 years after the movie came out and all that kind of stuff. So that's what Criterion's about. It's about the love of movies and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to find a whole lot of kids movies on there. Now, of course, Wall-E, the Pixar movie Wall-E is on there, and they're doing K-pop Demon Hunters. But anyway, so start Lynch with Twin Peaks. In my opinion, I would start there because it gets plenty weird, plenty fast. But Twin Peaks was, man, I just fell in love with that show. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, we're getting weird. We're getting funky now. Okay. Then watch the Twin Peaks movie. Then watch Twin Peaks The Return, which again is part of that from Z to A set that I think is absolutely worth it. When it goes on sale, I think it's from Z to A. I showed this off. Okay, maybe it'll come up. Get out of here. Yeah. So 55.29. It has all 3 seasons. It has, okay, so basically what happened is there were 2 seasons of Twin Peaks that were on ABC. 24 episodes, 25 episodes a season. Okay? Then there's Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Then, years later, they did Twin Peaks The Return on Showtime. So Fire Walk with Me and The Return are very adult, and it goes dark, like dark. But Twin Peaks, the original 2 seasons, are kind of an ABC TV show from that time period. So anyway, there you go. So it's $55.29 right now. I've seen it as low as like $40. So I'm going to close all this now. We don't need to talk about that anymore. So there you go. That's just my opinion. Now, Eraserhead is good too. I thought it was like, oh, okay. But again, it may be different now. I'm like a David Lynch super fan, so it might be different now. You looking for High School Musical? Wall-E and Flow have Criterion releases. Thank you, Vinny. I forgot about Flow. I thought they buy the rights to the movies and it's like a giant museum for profit. No. And they don't have the money to just buy anything and everything. I go into a movie for want to throw my fist in the air, drop my jaw in awe, laugh till I hurt, drop kick me in the feels, not want to sleep with the light off. Sometimes I want a puzzle to solve, but what I never want is The English Patient. F that movie. See, that's a movie where I also felt that way seeing that for the first time, but I'm a different person now. Just like I was a different person when I saw Mulholland Drive. When I saw Mulholland Drive the first time, I said, F this movie. That was 25 years ago. I'm a different person now. And now I look at that and I go, hell yeah. Because what I don't want anymore is I don't want the same movie again. So if you can give me new experiences with interesting characters, I'm all for it, no matter what. And The English Patient was so beautiful. I kind of want to watch it again, just because I remember it being beautiful. Criterion always took his movies as an art form preserved for time. Yeah. But I mean, their whole thing is they're looking at globally the movies that were important to the art form, And yeah, preserving for all time, but it's also highlighting the movies that maybe you never gave the time of day. I mean, Parasite is one of those movies, man. He pissed me. Bong Joon-ho pissed me off last year with Mickey 17. That movie is such a piece of crap. Parasite is genius. So it's weird. Is there going to be a chat tonight at all? I know it's almost 11. I just as soon watch John Waters' Pink Flamingos and dubbed in Esperanto on an 8-hour loop than ever sit through The English Patient again. I've never seen a John Waters movie that I know of, but everything I've heard says he's not for me. Ooh, it's on Paramount. Yes, it is. Yeah, you should give it a shot. Just give it a shot. There's nothing, and especially in that case, yeah, give it a shot and see if you like it. And it may be your new favorite thing, or you may come away going, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand why people like this so much. And that's how I was for the longest time. So, saw you lurking in the voice channel, Stop Aux. Well, let's move over there, shall we? You're right. It's been too long. Where's my Discord? There it is. I will. Look, I'm going to warn you. I do have to pee. So we're going to have to take a break like right away. What is this supposed to be again? Blueberry filled donut. Where are you going to put your pee? In the pee hole. You know, that deep water. And I'm going to plank on the toilet and pee. I sit down when I pee. Oh, yeah? Well, I plank. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm already at 115 on the Criterion website. What the... Dude, KP Senti, calm down. You really need to... You really... Hey, you really need to just be like, I'm going to try one or two. And if it gets to the point where you're like you put in the pot, if you put in the first one and you go, this is not for me, don't even open the second one. Just take it back up to Barnes and Noble or something, or take, I don't know, sell them to us. Don't spend a whole lot of money yet, because you've only watched like 4 movies in your life. In a way, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, buy more. Just, yeah. But then that kind of ruins it, because especially if you really like them, because then you're like, then you start watching regular movies and you're like, these are shit. Most movies are shit lately. They're just, honestly, most movies are shit. Like 95% of the movies that come out every year are shit. It's just the truth. So, turn the bidet on for a real challenge. Oh, I can't even imagine that. All cold and stuff? That would be terrible. Jeez. Hey, Chris. Yeah. I think a safe entry point to try out waters with getting too deep in his weirdness is a movie called Pecker. No, it's not what it sounds like. That's with the freaking John Connor, isn't it? Because I think that movie came out when I was in at Blockbuster. Have you seen my letterboxing? KP, a lot of the movies are about the cinematography, the scenery, not necessarily the wow factor of action, whatever. I've seen 44 movies according to Letterboxd. Okay, well, look, hey, I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do, but all I can say is watch the first one. If you don't want to watch any more, I guarantee you can put them up here or whatever in the Discord, and I guarantee you somebody will probably give you some money for them. Dude, 7th. Too much. Way too much, dude. Way too much. I'll show you my cart, you promise?
Here's another 20 for putting up with my spam and Twitter DMs. Happy birthday.
Thank you, 7th, so much. Just like I said, my birthday's Monday. I'm going to be freaking old, and I'm whatever. Doesn't matter. If anything gets 7 Samurai, so good. Yeah, but that's almost, that's like 3.5 hours. I mean, I agree. I love that movie. I own 2 copies of it, but not for everybody. All right. So look, guys, I appreciate you being here. The conversation was absolutely fantastic. Rufus is already in here. Star Fox is already in here.
Yo.
So, let's do the thing. You haven't watched it yet? Vinny, get on it. Get on it. Yeah, but value. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for putting up with my crap. Thanks for dealing with my jacked up face. And we'll see you next time. Stuff. And thanks. Hello, Nunzinzi. Off the nook. So, yeah. See y'all later. Stuff. Bye.
But